Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Dime Party LA at Night, a weekly foray into the World of Darkness's Vampire the Masquerade role-playing tabletop experience game. It's been a couple of weeks since we played because our dear GM was moving about the countryside, but that should be rectified now, and he should never leave his home ever again. So we won't have any more breaks. Maybe. Mm-hmm. So let's go around and introduce everyone who'll be playing today. First off, we have the lovely Tuesday Gray. How are you doing?
I am doing well. I just got off another role-playing cast where I was playing a bird lady, so I'm super excited to now play a vampire and maybe cut ties with all people who I knew in my life instead of my new undead life.
I like the
Cut
idea
ties with all the lies you've been living in.
You didn't have to do that.
I really like the idea that you cutting ties is just taking up Daddy's credit card and just snipping it and
Yeah.
like throwing it into like one of those hobo fires, you know?
Pretty much it. Snip.
So you've just been doing a lot of tabletop stuff then?
Yeah, just been mostly casting RP stuff, and last week did a couple of PUBG streams, and I'll probably do a few more this week because pub life.
Yeah, you enjoying the new patch for that?
Yeah, I haven't gotten my hands on the new gun yet, believe it or not, but I've only played a few rounds. Oh yeah, what do you think?
I didn't get to shoot anybody with it.
That's pretty much my life for that game. We're like, yeah, I got
it only came out of
300
the,
bullets, time to kill some people. Blah, blah,
Dead.
Every time.
The new gun, at least as far as I've seen, only comes out of care packages. So
That's the Steyr, right? The new Steyr?
yeah, and so it's like
It's not an org, it's a Steyr, right? Well,
it's really weird too. Like when you pick it up, it takes assault rifle mods, but not every assault rifle mod.
pretty
And
sure
then it
it's
can't-
an Australian rifle.
And it can't get more than a 4x scope on it, or you can't even put a 4x scope. I think
It's a
that's the line.
DMR, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
designated
but-
marksman rifle.
Yeah, and I don't know. It like I never got to shoot it because that's how PUBG works all the time. But we'll see.
Yeah. Speaking about shooting blanks, man, this is a terrible introduction. Tux, how you doing? What up? How's your face?
My face is pretty good. It's freshly shaved. I am also very ready for tonight. I've missed some vampires. Ready to. I need to feed. I need to do vampy stuff.
Yeah.
And
I feel you.
figure out what the hell about our powers and shit. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Haven't been up to too much kind of the same as Tuesday. Actually, a lot of RPG stuffs. And not so much video game stuff, but yeah, that's about it. Kind of same as usual for me. Work and tabletops, which is pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's my life is tabletops. So, you know, what can I say?
It's a pretty good life.
I mean, yeah, I would say so. I have a lot of fun. I get to pretend.
Exactly.
I get to pretend. Speaking about pretending, let's go on over to the man I know of as the Pretender. Someone.
We're supposed to be pretending?
Yeah, someone who for the most part emulates his characters in real life as he does on the tabletop. You know,
I killed a guy.
He did with a pitchfork. It was fucking insane. Brian, what up, sir? Mr. Spootler, Lord Spooty himself. Lord Spooty all over your cootie.
Oh my god, that was horrifying. And by the way, it looks like your coffee mug says cunt.
That's the joke.
Oh,
University
okay.
of Technology. It's
okay.
actually like this is a real mug that the University of Technology accidentally made. And
That's fantastic.
the
That makes it even
handle
better.
is black, right? I love this mug.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love it. But they accidentally made it,
Amazing.
and then they stopped selling it, and then everyone was like, "That's a fucking great idea," and they started selling those mugs. So you know.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm glad finally someone noticed it. I've been drinking from it for fucking months. But anyway,
I said something literally
I did notice.
last week and the week before that. Both
Did you?
times I said a joke about you, cunt, and etc.
Oh, I didn't pick up that you were referencing my sweet mug. But what have you been up to, Spooter?
Honestly, not too much, man. I've been trying to write reviews and failing, so then erasing them and starting over from scratch. Just trying to figure that process out.
You gotta get your
I'm-
formula down, bro. When you get that down,
Yeah,
you're clicking
I
that
haven't
every
really,
time.
I haven't really decided. I think that's my problem. I haven't really nailed down the formula yet, but
Mm.
I'll get there. And then I've been still knocking out episodes of the podcast, which is doing really surprisingly well. I'm working on a few marketing type things to kind of push it up the hill a little bit, and I think that's gonna work out. So
That
Good.
podcast, that I can
Awesome.
tell you right now, the podcast life is not for the faint of heart. So
no, it's not. You gotta roll hard with the bitches and the homies.
you gotta find yourself a syndication network.
I
Oof.
know. That's gonna be the toughest part. But really, right now I'm just focusing on getting people to subscribe and just rate and review the thing. That's the hardest part, is getting people to spend 5 minutes to.
Can we get a link?
Yeah, I mean it's fuck. It's just Motion Sickness the Show on iTunes. I'll find the link here in a little bit.
Sweet.
And he'll put it in the chat, and we'll all say something again when that occurs.
There you go.
What? So, last but not least, speaking about touching the dingus, let's go on over to Mr. Dr. Wreckage, who's in his new abode. Sir, hello. We can actually see you.
Probably for like an hour before the sun sets. Let's see how long this natural lighting lasts.
So, like Damien, he wakes up an hour before sunset.
Here's the thing: a lot of stuff is still in packages. So when this natural lighting wears off, I don't have a lamp. So it's gonna go from like the best lighting we've ever seen Dr. Wreckage in to completely pitch black. Yeah, I'm very excited to have moved into the city. This is a condo, although you can't tell because it is both spacious and affordable.
It has carpet on the floor.
It does.
You can
This-
tell that there's never been a pet in this home.
There is now, unfortunately.
There'll be poop all over that pretty soon. So.
So yeah, it's been an exciting move. I finally have the key to like the gym and the pool. So I'll probably get super swole in the coming months.
Okay. I can't. I for some reason I just imagine you real buff and.
Just like you guys can't tell though because of the shirts I wear and stuff. Like all you notice is that over the months my neck is getting thicker.
Get
That's-
those sick gains, bro.
That's either a tumor or you're drinking some real good powder. So. Yeah.
Yeah, you know the powder that you inject into your eyeball. So.
Do you want to mention the last couple of rolls I made last week? Because I feel like it's important.
All right, sure. So let's talk about the last couple weeks. Our everybody got embraced.
Hell yeah.
It was very suspicious because they were embraced in the manner in which the Sabbat embraces during war. The whole town, the whole vampiric town went into high alert when they didn't find anything else suspicious happening. They were like, okay, this is weird, but these 5 fledglings clearly don't even know what happened to them. We'll test them, which you passed by killing some other Sabbat that they knew about. And then they invited you into the taste, which for mortals is called a taste of LA, and for vampires is just called the taste. And it is run by a lovely couple who have invited you into their homes, and into their thing that is also a good place for fledgling vampires to find their bearing. It appears to be because it's an Anarch-controlled city. A lot of vampires come here running away from their princes once they get in trouble for whatever old thing, and so the back room is a temporary B&B for vampires. And so you guys are staying there now, and you've only just started to learn about your situation. And in an effort to gain more information than they could give you, Damien called his partner and tried to get his partner to give him some files on gang crime in LA. But he also hadn't turned up for work that night. And so that was suspicious for his partner. So we didn't put any modifiers on it, but I did consider it to be a fairly difficult roll. The problem was that Dave didn't roll with the API, and I didn't notice because it was late and it was the end of the show. He didn't roll with the API, and the API takes ones away from successes, and he got exactly one success, but also had a 1. So the roll in which he
so it was like a 4D. It was 4. So I think it was either
it was a
leadership and
it was leadership
and
empathy or something.
Empathy.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, it was it's charisma and leadership. I think it was because that makes 4 dice.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what it was. It was a leadership role because he was basically like telling his partner, whom I assume you had seniority over, to do it. And he barely passed. And he set a time and date later that night, or a time and place later that night.
Yeah, 45 minutes, I said.
Yeah, 45 minutes from the phone call. You guys were going to meet at the Blues and Twos, the cop bar. So what we know now mechanically is that roll failed, and we will deal with that narratively. We're not going to retcon anything. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So just always make sure you use the dice pool modifier thingy for everything, because as it turns out, it's fucking they do a lot of weird shit in this thing. So.
If you don't use the API, then pay attention to ones. So that we can be sure to retract a success.
Amen, sister.
Another thing that some other things that happened. You learned that somebody named Salvador owns the Taste, and might be a pretty cool guy if busy. And one thing you guys wanted to do was contact McNeil. And you might be able to get a meeting with McNeil through Salvador, was something you learned.
Yeah.
Does anybody else, because we were going to do maybe a lot of things tonight. Does anybody else have any questions or forget anything that we talked about last week? Or a week and a half?
Were we also going to go back to our former houses or something like that and try to get our shit and...
Yeah, there was some talk about getting your stuff. And...
I would like to actually just do maybe just a quick out of character PC talk as to what we actually want to accomplish a little bit.
Yeah, because there was a lot of discussion. Maybe go to the place where you were sired to look at stuff.
Oh yeah.
But they said that might be suspicious, and to be careful if you did that. You could talk to Salvador about eventually meeting McNeil, but you're not sure what that would be like. And you've been suggested that over the next 2 weeks you begin the process of severing ties to your mortal life. So that's also something you guys need to do.
Yeah.
And then Damien here with the file that he wanted to get from his partner was going to start to try and find somewhere
appropriate that we could shelter.
Yeah, maybe there was a place where to try and figure out where the vampires and gangs don't consider it their turf, and you could maybe start your own.
That was the intent of that role, at least anyway. Being able to work out where
Like, once you
an
got that
exclusion
information.
zone would be or something.
And the information from Salvador about where the gangs were, like you could put those two things together, or
Like-
where
Like where we could go hunting without getting in trouble, basically.
Yeah.
As
well,
well.
where to start your own haven, right?
Uh,
Because ultimately you're going to have to move out of here, but you can't just live anywhere because it might be somebody else's turf. And vampires are very protective of their turf. So why don't you have a quick out of character chat about what you guys want to add?
Also, I think the sheet got updated since we last played, and also broke
And also broke.
Why? What
because
game?
subterfuge is now listed twice.
Oh, yeah, it
It
is.
is listed twice.
Yeah, I think it got updated and also broke. I think the first subterfuge is meant to be streetwise.
Yes.
Or streetwise should be.
Yep.
So like I'm assuming it still works. It just some of the stuff on the sheet got
Okay.
a little wonky. So just keep that in mind when we're making rules and stuff.
Well, I wonder if they now, because there was that other thing that was, what was that other thing that this sheet couldn't do that we were like,
Oh,
that's
that's
okay.
interesting.
Down at the bottom, yeah.
Interesting, because the first attribute is now only like attributes, and the second one is now ability. Before it was just like whatever, and now
Dice
it's
pool
like
this one and dice
now
pool
it's
that
like
one.
separated
Yeah.
a little bit. Okay.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure we kept that in mind before we started rolling. And like, why the hell is it this?
Also, dexterity seems to only work in the first slot.
It
Everything
only
else-
ever works in the first slot.
No.
because it's
I
an
mean,
attribute
like
ability.
if you use like the second row, it's broken.
Oh yeah, it's dexterity -u.
Yeah. That's weird.
That's weird.
Anyway, cool.
Yeah.
Just use the first one, I guess, for everything.
Yeah. I just want to because it was looking weird. To me.
Yeah. Cool. So,
But yeah. So
I'm interested mostly in what you guys are up to, because I think I have a pretty set plan for what Damien is gonna try and get information wise. But is there anything you guys want to cover?
I'm not too worried about the cutting ties, obviously, but I would like to figure out where our turf is going to be so we can kind of nail that
Yeah.
down.
Okay.
But I feel like the meeting is pretty important as well.
Yeah,
so.
we're gonna find a place, and the meeting is definitely good because, well, Maria's definitely very interested in figuring out someone that knows anything about her powers, and then also Maria has a fairly interested in making sure her family doesn't think she just left, because she actually had people. So Maria probably wants to do something with her past life.
I know I definitely need to hunt because I'm down to 5 in my blood pool as well. So I
Yeah,
need-
you're a thirsty
I need
motherfucker,
blood.
aren't you?
Yeah, I need blood.
I'm thirsty.
I'm down to 4.
Yeah, you both got hurt or used a lot, and
Yeah.
they like
Oh yeah, I
they're a
haven't.
charity, but they're only so much of a
Right,
charity.
exactly. We can't just take all of their blood.
Yeah, I haven't healed. I'm for a while now.
I had a question. So does healing take away a full row, or does it take away like an aggravated and then a regular wound and then another? So do you have to heal like 15 times to fill up your thing, or does a healing take up a full slot?
So if we go back to the frickin' thing, which I definitely, it's right here. When you look up healing,
Where's the thing? Spending.
remember we had to find the
Using
actual
blood
place,
pool.
It's not a step
the
down.
actual, because it wasn't.
It was like page 69. I think.
It says a vampire may spend one blood point to heal one normal, bashing, or lethal health level of damage. So yeah, I wasn't sure if health level meant the whole block, or like just you need to do a lethal and then you have to do a bashing.
Yeah, I think if you're at lethal, it goes down to bashing, and then if you're at bash, it goes to normal. If you're at normal, it goes to no damage.
That's a lot of blood.
It like steps down. Yeah.
Bashing heals between scenes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because that's true for all World of Darkness stuff. Bashing is like punches.
Yeah, it's
and
like
it only-
bruising and stuff like that.
It only builds up to unconsciousness within a single fight, right?
Mhm.
So if you have bashing earlier in the night, unless you immediately get into another fight, it probably went away.
Aggravated,
But
which is the
okay.
stuff
So yeah,
that is like permanent
my
damage.
bash is on healed then.
Like aggravated is like a broken arm or like a punctured lung or something, or a hole in your fucking chest. That's aggravated, which is the stuff you heal with blood. Like if you have to knit things back together, you're using blood basically.
Yeah. So lethal and aggravated you heal with blood, and then the bashing you just kind of goes away.
Yeah,
So
so
actually, I'm all healed.
Yeah. So if
Yeah, I'm all healed too.
if for example like you have like 4 aggravated like I do, you spend 4 blood, it heals up, right? Pretty much like over the course of a scene or something like that. I can't remember the speed of which it does. Is it a turn or is it a scene?
But other than bashing, vampires can only heal, unlike mortals who can heal no matter what. Vampires can only heal by spending blood.
Yeah. So you have to spend blood.
Yep.
And
okay, cool.
So bashing is what the first step, because I know that you don't want us to use the actual because they have it in a weird step down.
Slash is bashing, X is lethal, and star is supposed to be aggravated, but
there's no star.
Does not have star, so instead minus is aggravated.
Minus is aggravated.
So yeah, if you had slash, it's healed.
Because it's very important to keep slash and X as bashing and lethal.
Yeah.
So which one?
So just remember, X is lethal. Like X is over your eyes, like you're dead.
Yeah, but aggravated is worse than lethal. So
that's where it gets confusing on the thing it's above. But yeah.
Yeah. Right.
They couldn't fix that.
We got it.
So if you have X's, you spend blood. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll get to that.
You don't have to though. You can consciously not heal as well. So a vampire who's low on blood or in tough times doesn't have to heal.
I'm not gonna heal just yet. I'm too
so like
low on everything.
so you remember when she had the fucking hole in her stomach?
Mm-hmm.
A vampire could walk around like that forever if they wanted to. It would never get any worse, and it would never get any better until they chose to make it better or worse.
So okay, so we're all in agreement that we want to have the meeting and find a place to make the
start making waves towards finding our own.
Okay. I guess that's pretty much.
So you guys just wait. So is the idea going to be let's just wait 45 minutes and all go to the blues and twos? For that,
I would say so.
For the heat map.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to start something else when you have an appointment 45 minutes from now. You know, you might get caught up, be late.
Oh sure, yeah.
Right. So the blues and twos is a cop bar, as we discussed last week. Every city has 1 or 2. It's the bar where all the cops go.
Yep.
And every once in a while, especially in World of Darkness, every once in a while, a gang individual will roll up into the blues and twos just to cause trouble. And they will experience a bad time because it's the World of Darkness and police.
Yeah, into brutality, as it turns out.
Well, it's gonna be something like, I'm too tough. Besides, they have to follow the law. They can't just arrest me for nothing. But then the police are like, yeah, there was a bar fight. Dude got his face smashed in. We didn't see who did it though. Like that sort of thing. And since they are the police, nobody investigates any further.
Yeah.
Right.
Case closed. Accidental. He slipped on the bar, broke his nose.
Yeah, his jaw is completely dislocated. He slipped on a banana peel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, exactly.
So maybe as we're walking in, Damien's just like, all right, listen up. It's going to be pretty rough in there, so I expect all of you not to step out of line. All right? These are all blues in there, so they're going to look sideways at you. Don't take offense to it. And
don't try to feed in here.
Look, I'll snap one off in you if you're gonna feed on my bros, okay? Look, we're tight because we kind of need to be, but look, I will slap the shit out of you if you're gonna attempt any of that shit. All right?
All right.
Okay, cops.
Of course, officer.
I don't think he gets to be an officer of the law anymore now that he's a vampire.
Look, you don't just stop being an officer of the law, right? That shit is ingrained in you from birth. It takes a certain type of mentality to be a cop, especially in LA. I don't know if you've seen the streets around
Is that a
here.
shithead mentality?
I just ignore
Look,
him.
can
and
we just like get a move on? I just want to get. We just need to get apartments.
So you open the door, and Blues and Twos is a nice bar too, right? Like well made.
I
It's got the
imagine
big-
it's like got lots
it's
of
got the-
blue lights and stuff in it.
It's got the blue. Well, they're not going too cliche with it. It's got big mahogany bar,
It's a
like
jazz bar, right? You said.
yeah, it's blues. Blues is playing. There's like a stage and there's a saxophonist going on right now. You know,
Yeah.
Blues is a double entendre.
we said that joke last week.
Ah.
And it's also like there's a lot of Irish beer types on tap, so it's got that sort of slant to it as well, and but it is one of those like really nice establishments where all the wood is very thick, the floors are very sturdy, and the music carries because it's a soundproof building type thing.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of room for pool and darts and drinking, and it also, it serves burgers and etc. There is a kitchen. So you walk in, and there is it's also the other thing about World of Darkness is everywhere it smokes. Everyone smokes. So there's the haze.
Oh,
There's
Come on, the womb smoking.
yeah, there's a reason why I'm so pissed I can't fucking smoke anymore. It's just like-
there's half of the upper half of the air is haze of smoke.
Wait, and it's the '90s, so like, yeah, I think you could smoke back then. So
doctor approved.
In World of Darkness, they never approve a smoking ban. In World of Darkness, they probably have elected a president who couldn't even get a cigarette out of his mouth at the podium. You know what I mean? Like, all right, fuckers.
They
Charge
invented
now.
microphone caps just to stop microphones from getting dirty from all the cigarette smoke
Yeah, it's like,
in a radio station. Just
yeah.
like you hear the radio, people just lighting up all the time. It's like,
All right, fuckers. It's 98.7.
Smoke FM.
Smoke FM.
A group of 5 walks into the bar, and immediately you feel self-conscious because there's barely 5 other people in here right now.
Oh, it's just
And-
past dusk, right? So
It's just
like-
past dusk, so it's a cop bar, and maybe somebody like the other thing about this cop bar is because it's a cop bar. Sometimes there's an incident and half the people are on call, and all of a sudden the place just empties.
Mhm. Is there any
and
empty
so-
drinks and shit like that lying around, or is it just like it's just no one's here?
There's just no one. I mean, there's a couple people here, but it's all like sort of private, actually. Like you can tell because you're a cop and no one's trying to hide it. The other people here are cops. They're not random strangers, but one's in like a booth having a burger. Another guy is, playing darts by himself, like the saddest thing ever. And then there's the saxophonist. So you feel self-conscious being like a huge group already. And just like Damien said, every head in the place except for the saxophonist, like turns to see you come in. Any immediate response to that, physically or vocally?
Do I recognize the dude? Probably not.
You recognize everybody in here.
Mhm.
I'm like low level famous, so I don't worry about being looked at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably a little
I'm-
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm pretty uncomfortable. I'm probably just
And like
kinda
you
looking at the
recognize everybody
floor.
here, and everybody here recognizes you. That's the other thing, Damien. But they don't recognize the 4 people you just walked.
Yeah.
Who?
I'm kind of like shuffling my feet,
So-
looking
so-
at the floor.
Yeah, as I sort of walk in, I sort of say under my breath, "All right, if anyone asks who you are, see eyes. That's all you need to say. See eye. Okay?
CI.
Yeah.
What's CI?
You don't want to know.
Okay.
Criminal investigator.
No, criminal informant.
Oh.
Oh.
That's a lot of us to be all together in one. Okay. So, like, you're all just standing there. What do you do? Your partner is at the bar because you told him to be there.
Yeah, I just sort of
He's
maybe
at the bar.
yeah, maybe I'm just like, why don't you guys go take a seat over there? I'll be just a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a spot. There's like booths, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I'll go grab a spot at a booth.
Do all four of you take a booth while Damien goes up to the bar? Is that how that's going to work?
Yeah, that seems like a natural.
All right, you so when you go up to the bar, Damien, the barkeep is like usual.
And he's like, I sort of look at him. It's like, you can see the strain in my like lips as I'm about to say yeah, but then I'm just like, I actually quit drinking.
He doesn't quirk an eyebrow, but he blinks an extra time. Like
He's just like,
Oh.
He when you decline him, he moves out up behind the bar and goes to the booth, and like takes out the pad and is like, "What can I get you?"
I'll order a Budweiser and a cheeseburger.
Piss in a
Medium
cow.
rare.
Piss in a bloody cow.
I have
Yeah.
a pint of your finest blood. I'm just
You
kidding.
sit-
Nothing.
I'll take a dirty martini.
All right. He's like not impressed with your group. I don't know how to say it. Like he's doing that thing that a bartender would do, where it's like you guys don't belong in this type of bar.
He doesn't appreciate my joke. Come
Yeah.
on.
He doesn't appreciate your business. Like
yeah.
so he takes your orders and leaves. And when he leaves, Rodney's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And then like you see Rodney go like behind one wall, which you think maybe the bathroom's over there, but
Well,
like very quickly
We don't go to the bathroom anymore.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I'm like looking at him as he goes away. Like, we don't do that anymore. Where's he going?
So what happens if a vampire just drinks
Yeah.
a lot of liquids?
You can't swallow it. You can't make your throat work.
But
You actually need a
but can't
merit
they-
to make your throat
Yeah,
work.
let's say I have the merit and I drink
Yeah.
like 7 liters of water.
You have to throw up everything that you consume as a vampire later on, because you even with the merit you can only make your esophagus work. You can't make your intestines work, so you can't even fake poop it out. You have to vomit it later.
Right.
Like
okay.
I do have that perk, so I imagine I can eat and drink when I want to appear normal, but I'm gonna pay for it later.
Interesting. I did not think that was how it happened, but okay. Good to know.
Yeah, like you can basically just swallow, nothing else. Yeah.
So vampires are bulimic. That's fucking
They
weird.
have to keep their ghoulish figure.
Yeah.
Shout out to the anime Tokyo Ghoul, which 100% ripped this off from Vampire the Masquerade as a concept, and then was a shitty anime. Don't watch it. Best opening sequence of any anime ever, hands down. Terrible anime. Don't watch
Everything after that.
it. It's all downhill from the opening sequence. Yeah, nobody stops Rodney from going to the bathroom.
Right, he just went around.
Well, I want to look at Laven and Marie and be like, he has been acting really weird. Like I know he was telling us the truth when we kind of, interrogated him last night, but I can't be the only one that is just. I'm a creep and I'm creeped out by him.
Well,
Like, I don't even know. I can't tell if he's just like a spy.
Well, he seems very shy, so I think it's just all of this hitting him a little harder than it is all of us.
But why
I
does he
don't
keep
know.
sneaking off?
I'm with the nerd. I think there's a little more to it.
Anyway, back at the more interesting part of this scene.
I was
I'm kidding. I'm just giving you guys a hard time.
I was gonna say I like here, and then I get off from the booth and go after Rodney.
To the bathrooms?
Well, I'm gonna go around to see like did he actually go into a bathroom?
I mean, there's a bathroom. There's a lady and a male. The doors and the signs.
Okay. I'll put my ear up to the men's room.
Are you fucking perv?
You hear the tinkle of piss.
What?
He might not be a vampire, guys.
Yeah.
He might be a ghoul or
He's like
something like that.
pretending.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I'll knock and I'll say, Rodney, you in there?
My name's not Rodney.
Nope.
It's Drew Barrymore.
And then you also hear zip.
So, was there anywhere else he could have gone, or like, is there like another hallway from here, or is it just bathrooms around this thing that he went?
I guess the way to describe it is that the bar and kitchen are like on a wall, and then there is an archway through that wall, and then behind there is like more stuff like jukeboxes and stuff, and also the bathroom. So you had to go through that archway to get back there, and it is like just windows and stuff.
I'll go into the ladies' room and just see if he went in there.
Wreckage, remind me real quick. Rodney was with
lady.
us when we slept, right?
Yep.
Was he
And
like a corpse in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so he is a vampire.
This guy pissing was another guy.
No, I get that. I just want
Rodney
to.
not being a vampire.
I just want to make sure that.
Maybe Rodney sits down to pee. You just couldn't hear him.
And yeah, there's the ladies' room is. I mean, it's all stalls. It's not as nice. Well, you haven't even
Right,
seen the men's room.
just-
It looks like perhaps it is less used, but also less tended to.
Yeah.
Because
I
the
just-
World of Darkness doesn't have sort of. No, that's not the joke I was going for. I was going for it doesn't have like equality hiring. There aren't as many lady cops, so there aren't as much ladies in the police.
Sure.
There we
I was
go.
like-
That's the 1, 2, 3.
Kind of look down. Is there anyone? Do I see Rodney's
Feet.
shoes?
No, you don't see Rodney's shoes in the ladies' bathroom.
Okay. I just wanted to check.
Okay.
I guess I'll leave and start poking around to see if I find him anywhere.
Poke around a cop car. Yeah, that's the.
Anyway, back at the thing that is still happening.
Okay.
Damien and his partner.
Yeah.
Did you name him last week?
Yeah, his last name was Michaels. I didn't have a first name. for him.
Michaels. Right.
I didn't have a first name for him, but I don't think it's
George.
appropriate. To
So Michaels is
He just wants to be a singer.
he's actually a couple drinks deep.
Yeah.
2 or 3. You know him. He's not like
He's not-
anywhere near it being plastered or anything, but he
Yeah.
has had a few.
I
for-
imagine most of the law enforcement has just had a few. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I imagine most of the cops, but
They're constantly a few in.
yeah.
So
Except for, like, the new recruits. They take a couple of months to get a few in, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
You sort of slide into the bar. You say,
Yeah, I just sit down, you know, do my thing.
Then right after you say, I've quit drinking,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't even look at you, and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? What is going on?
Yeah. Listen, a lot of things are going on right now. Nothing I can really go into too details about, but, do you get the stuff?
What do you... You're not drinking. You can't go into details. You miss one night of work, and already you're talking about you can't tell me nothing. What the... You gotta give me more than that.
Is there any vanilla folder at all or anything like that on the table in front of us?
I mean, he's wearing the full
Trench
like,
jacket, yeah.
trench coat detective thing, so he could have it on him easily.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could have a fucking double barrel on him, and you wouldn't necessarily see it at first.
Sure.
Uh,
Yeah, I just sort of, maybe I sit there and just sort of stare forward and then sort of look over at him and I'm like, you ever fall into something that you can't really explain? Like, maybe you're trying to put together some stuff in your mind before you come to a conclusion? Sort of like that, you know? Just, things are a little fucky right now.
he looks at you. And he looks at you real close, actually, like he's squinting at you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, did did somebody fucking get you on something? Are you on some kind of drug? What is this? Is this shrooms?
If you want to know, I woke up in a fucking hole, surrounded by fucking idiots. I don't know much more than that. But it goes a little deeper than that. It's kind of fell into an underbelly, you know?
On the phone, you tell me you joined a fucking gang.
It fucking felt like that, I tell you that. You know,
You didn't actually join a gang?
Oh. I ain't got no tats, if that's what you're asking.
That's not what I'm asking. Are you doing shit with a gang? Are you doing this vigilante thing we talked about?
If it comes down to it, maybe. But it's hard to go into. It really is, you know. I want to tell you everything.
You got to give me something more than what you've given me. It's all vagaries. You're pulling my chain completely. You've given me nothing concrete, and you haven't shown up for work for 2 days. You quit drinking. You look like hell. You've either not slept or you've started something, and if you don't, I can't just help you because you say so.
Records, real quickly, wouldn't I look better than what I did when I died?
You look more attractive,
Yeah.
but you look pale, and you are a corpse.
Okay.
So you literally are a corpse. So a new person who sees you is like, oh, look at that, like marble. Look at that ivory beauty. Look at that gorgeous person who's just very pale. Somebody who knows you is like, you look like death because you literally do look like you died.
All right.
And he also can't put his finger on the fact you got more attractive. That's why he's squinting at you. He's like, what? You're like a different person almost.
That makes sense. So now, Wreckage, I'm not a police officer or a detective, but Damien is. Is there a role or something I can make that would include enough jibber jabber to give him something that makes sense of the situation to him?
Yeah, it would be manipulation subterfuge. And because the idea, and I did test it just now. The first subterfuge is streetwise, and the second subterfuge is subterfuge.
Okay, cool.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have streetwise. I would have subterfuge, though, because it helps with my abilities. But, all right, so manipulation 4, subterfuge 2. Okay.
And this is going to be difficulty, when I ask for difficulty, do 7 instead of 6.
Is it the same on the ability tree? Like the second one down is subterfuge?
Right, from the top to the bottom.
Okay, so what did you say the difficulty was?
7 instead of 6.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, 2 successes. That actually removed the failure from there too, so that's good.
So, okay, since we're being vague and you're not a police officer, what is the type of thing that you want to tell him here?
I would like to tell him
that convinces him to help you.
I would like to tell him about like a meeting of gangs, and that there seems to be a new alliance forming, and somehow I woke up in the middle of this from a drunken haze, and they seem to think that I'm a part of it. That's the sort of thing I want to go with. And that's why
Something's
asking.
Happening with all the gangs in the city, something weird, and like I literally drunkenly stumbled into it, and
they think I'm a part of it somehow, right?
And you need to.
I need to check where everything connects and collides together, so I can get a better picture. That's why I asked for the heat map, essentially.
So you sort of weave this story, and that's about like enough time to catch us up to Maria's timeline.
Mm.
Like you read that story, and he's like, he sort of like finishes his drink and sort of shakes his head and like sideways glances at you and is like, are those people you came in with? Are they part of that? I never seen those people before. They look like the most hodgepodge. It's like you're coming in with your fucking weird extended family or something.
Oh, it's a little like that, but I would rather put them under CI territory than anything.
All four of them.
They just
In on it.
They just happen to be there, you know. I don't know
So
where
you-
their alliances are, but they seem to be the other fish out of water, if that makes any sense.
So you can maybe hook these guys, is what you're saying.
I reckon I can hook them line and sinker.
I want you to roll perception alertness.
Alertness? What the fuck is alertness?
It is your physical
Oh
awareness.
yeah, fuck. Okay, so
Whereas
perception.
awareness is your spiritual awareness in this system.
So 4 perception, 2 alertness. Okay. 4 perception, 2 alertness. No, that's athletics. Alertness. There we go. Difficulty?
Normal. 6. Well, you don't have to put anything. You don't have to put anything.
Did that explode the tent?
No.
That didn't explode in this
Minus to 1, and you got, and all the 6s were successes too. So you had 5 successes minus 1.
one. Okay. Do I have to explode the 10s in the system? I can't remember.
No. So some I don't know. Again, this API doesn't do it yet. This is
Mhm.
one of those shortcomings. You don't get exploding dice until you have a specialization, and specializations give you exploding dice.
Okay. I think I might take one of those later on because
Yeah, I mean,
being perceptive as a fucking detective seems like a good specialization to have. But anyway.
maybe. I mean, there is actual investigation also as a skill.
Mm-hmm.
Your partner is good at his job. That's one thing that you have known about him.
Yeah.
He's a clean cop. He's also, a good example is what's the guy's name from LA Noire, the main character?
Oh fuck if I know, but I know who you're talking about.
Jerkface McGee. I hated that guy.
Sure.
I'll look it up. I know who you're
When
talking
he first
about.
comes in, he's really good, and he's also really by the book.
Yeah.
You know, that's sort of how to sort of describe.
Cole, wasn't it Cole?
Yeah, it was Cole.
Yeah.
And so,
That's how I imagine most like new guys to the police force are like in World of
no,
Darkness.
not most. In World of Darkness, most of the new guys, like, they come in, and some of them, like, they're still wearing their graduation clothes when they're like, so how can I be a crooked cop to like the guy next to him?
Yo, I'm
How
here for
can I
that
get
mountain
this?
of cocaine we're gonna get.
So where's the cocaine, and when do I sign up with the mob? Like that's a good solid half of the real new cops.
Mhm.
And then this guy was sort of goody two shoes, but he was the type of goody two shoes
Cole Phelps.
Like-
That's what this
like
is.
any cop in the World of Darkness. He's the type of good apple who only survives because he doesn't say anything about the bad apples. Because if he did, he'd be out on his ass or worse, in half a second, right?
Mm.
So, he's really good at his job, which means that he's also a pretty good actor. And you have been paying. If you weren't a vampire now, with literally supernatural senses, this is a moment where you're like, this is the Spider-Man moment where like he first notices that he can track a fly flying through the air or whatever, like where you first like, whoa, my senses are super sharp. But you tell him, like he's you tell him a story, he's asking you questions, he asks if you think you can hook these, you say you could, I think I can hook these guys eventually, and he's sort of like nodding to you, but he's like, oh, that's a few too many nods. And then like your hearing tweaks up and you hear some whispering, and then you see with your eyes that he's got an earpiece.
Dun dun dun.
Okay.
So he's like, yeah, okay. So what? You're gonna hook him just by giving him this intel?
What do I know about this earpiece? Is it waterproof?
It's an earpiece. It's not the full FBI earpiece, because you noticed that, right? It's the really, really see-through plastic tube that goes up and around the ear.
What I'm asking is, if I was to say, spill a drink on it, would it work?
That would not stop it.
Okay, all right.
Like, first of all, you'd have to like throw it into his ear, and it wouldn't really, like, you wouldn't be guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination to suddenly destroy it. So he keeps talking. He's like, so what, you gonna hook him by giving him this intel? Is that the way that it works? Or do you want, maybe we should bring him downtown and do the thumb screws? Maybe we press him, put him under duress to hook him.
I leaned back in my chair and was like, you've never pressed a CI, a new one before. Why the fuck would we do it now?
I mean, it's 4 of them. It just seems like if you're in
No,
trouble,
not
if you're not
doing
showing
it.
up to
Not
work,
not doing it. Listen, mate. I don't want you getting into this shit. I can handle this.
you're bringing me into this shit.
I'm
You're
asking
wanting
you
me
to give me
steal
one.
paperwork from off duty, not showing into work. Fuck, man. How dare you say I don't want you getting involved in this when you're asking me to do this fucking shit? Like, he's legitimately mad, not even acting there. He's like, what a fucking...
So are you gonna give me this shit, or am I gonna have to walk out of here empty-handed?
Can we tell that shit is going wrong from the booth?
I mean, that his partner has started yelling at him, but it also hasn't gotten past uncivility.
Okay.
Maria, you can hear the shouting on the other side, just barely over the saxophone music. You haven't found Rodney. Like, you've been checking booths and stuff. There isn't really anywhere you could hide. That guy who was peeing never came out of the men's bathroom.
Enjoying himself way too much.
I feel like at this point I would have popped up to go over to Maria, not to get involved in Damien's conversation, but to find Maria and see what's up with Rodney.
Yeah, I can't find him.
No, but he just went. Did you go in the men's room?
I didn't go in, but
I'm going in, and I
Okay.
just open the door and push my way in. Well, what do I find?
Okay, you walk into the men's room. There is a big man in the men's room, and he's wearing sort of a trench coat too as well, and he's got a badge on his waist, and he's just sort of like taken aback. He was sort of like loitering, like
By
not
himself?
you know, hanging out in the bathroom.
Really. Yeah, he was
Like
just sort
you
of hanging.
do.
He
Like you
was just sort of
do.
hanging out in the bathroom.
Hey,
And-
my buddy is missing. Is there another guy in here? I'm like peeking under the stalls and stuff.
No, this is also the men's bathroom.
I know it's the men's bathroom. Whatevs. I gotta see if he's in here. Rodney.
He sort of like puts a hand on your shoulder and is like, "Miss, are you high?"
Definitely not high, and please don't touch me. And I'm looking. Do I see anything under the stalls? Because
No.
if I don't see feet, I'm going in. I'm peeking in.
So you just start like kicking in doors or whatever.
Oh, I mean, I
Like,
assume they're not. I don't need to kick them in if nobody's in there.
he takes his badge off his waist and like holds it up and is like, "Miss, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Okay. Well, can you check the stalls for my friend? Because he's missing.
Nobody's come in here."
Okay. I'm gonna go do the same thing in the women's room. And failing finding him in there, I'm just gonna post up at the back here. We're waiting for him to come back.
Is there
You
like a
said we can
door?
go in the kitchen too, right?
What? No. You can just walk into the kitchen.
Is there like a back door that he could have possibly left through?
You know,
Not on this side of the bar.
he
The back
might
door's
be
on
able
the
to
other
go
side.
invisible. There's a good possibility
Yeah.
that he might be able to go invisible. And I'm thinking that's
I
probably
don't
what
think any of
happened.
you would think that.
That's true.
This
Yeah,
is
I
out of
wouldn't think
character,
that.
but
Yeah,
like, you
we
know,
don't know the
Yeah,
extent of
it is a
abilities.
possibility. We just have no idea that's even a thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna loiter in the hallway here.
Wait for the big guy to come out of the bathroom so you go back.
Totally. Give him another once over.
Back in the at the bar, you've just sort of asked him, "Are you going to give me this from now, or do I have to get out of here?" And he's like, "Fuck, he's a fucking piece of shit." And he reaches into his coat and he takes out an envelope.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still got his like hand on it on the tabletop, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's one of those manila envelopes. And he's like, "So, I just want to get this straight one more time. You somehow fallen into some sort of gang thing that's happening in the city. You need crime data, and you're going to hook these 4 CIs to press them for what's going on. All by yourself, off duty, without permission from the higher-ups."
Why do you think I stopped drinking? I got my nose to the grindstone. Shit's gonna get done. I can guarantee it, mate.
Damien, I need you to come in. I need you to come in and okay this with the chief. We need to make this official if it's going to happen. And he's sort of like rubbing the manila envelope, like sort of apprehensively. Just, I don't know why you got to do this off the books, man. You come in, you give just the same story you told me, maybe a little bit more. We could have a whole department on this in no time.
I sort of lean close. I'm just like, it involves cops, okay? I saw some familiar faces in that bar. I just want to make sure that I'm not ruffling any feathers. Like as I lean in, I put my hand on his hand and I start to pull a vanilla paper away from him. And then I want to just take it out of his hands and be like, "We will make it official when I make sure I know who's inside of this thing."
So you say that whole thing and you take the manila envelope and he sort of like has a pause. And you could still hear whispering, because you've now keyed into he's wearing an earpiece.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hadn't keyed into this earpiece, it would make no sense. But he's like, "Wait, no!" And that's when fucking glass shatters. And the back door is kicked in. And there's like a SWAT team coming in.
God damn it.
What the fuck?
It's not like it's not full SWAT like terrorist resolution. It's like drug bust SWAT, like cops
Like
in
Vice.
sort of that sort of thing. Like when cops have their full bulletproof gear on, but it's just the cops. It's not the actual SWAT unit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they
That's
put on like a vest
Like
over there,
drug bust.
like
Right,
over there, like working suit or whatever the fuck. Yeah.
And also the guy in the fucking back like kicks the bathroom door in. And he comes like rushing out, and he also is weaponed. And
How much?
so we're gonna go.
Yeah, how much like ahead of because I fucking nailed that alertness check, right?
Right, but you didn't really. Well, you
Is
hear
there
what they were
like an
saying.
exceptional success in this game? Like, is it where does it start? Does it start at 5 successes?
It does actually. At 5, you start to have.
Right, yeah.
I don't know what they call it in this game, but it's also. I mean, we can play it like other games. I don't really care what the specific rules are. I think the specific rules are a little more stringent because it's an older system.
Mm-hmm,
But we can start to get.
It does use the golden rule.
You know.
Where since you're the storyteller, you can basically say anything you want. So.
Yeah, I can say anything I want. So what I'm saying here is that you definitely couldn't make out the whispering.
I know, but it's
you
not...
just heard that it was happening, and then his basically you heard ahead of time, which gave you the information for how to act in the conversation, and then in the conversation you still.
So the reason I asked is because I have the ability to meld into shadow. So I'm wondering if that's something that I can actually
right in front of everybody.
Well, I mean, it's to the point where I just sort of maybe I run behind a bar and then I'm just, I'm gone or something like that.
Well, there's initiative, so let's do.
Okay. Where is everyone in the room right now? I guess Maria, you're at like a.
I'm still at the.
Yeah, I'm kind of just in that little
booth
in between all the rooms that are in here, just looking around.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. I guess
We're both Maria and I are both near the
both
bathrooms.
Bathrooms.
Yeah. So Braden's at the booth, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So.
I don't want to get shot again.
I'm glad I'm healed up. This is gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Fuck, how do we roll initiative?
Second, you would think the little box that says initiative would say, right. Right. Everyone, player and storyteller character rolls 1 die and adds it to their initiative rating, which is their dexterity plus their wits. So you roll a 1d10 and add that to the total of your dexterity and wits together.
So it's 1d10 plus 4 for me then.
Damn it.
10 plus 5.
14.
11.
It also has a first in, last out initiative order system in this that we're not going to start that yet. Eventually, we're going to sort of ease into that, but it's very complicated. The idea is that whoever gets the highest initiative actually goes last because they get to declare their action after everybody else has declared their action, so they know what the other people's actions are. And then after the last person declares their action, it then goes back out the other way, sort of like a Magic the Gathering stack.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Which we're not going to mess around with right now. We're just going to go in the order of people rolling. And the police have a surprise round on you, but they aren't shooting or anything. It's all shotguns and assault rifles with flashlights on the end, and they come in and it's just flashlights pointed at you. Freeze! Get on the ground! And Michaels is like, Damien, I'm sorry, man. I had to say something. I had no idea what was going on. And then they were listening, and he's just prattling off his apology while you're all surrounded. And Lavin and Maria, there's no windows in this part, which is why there was the guy in the bathroom. He's the only one sort of holding you two up. He's got he literally just has a huge magnum and a flashlight, but not an assault rifle.
He has a huge magnum and then he pulls out his pistol. Got him.
But unfortunately, somebody who is in the same room as Damien is Braden, who is still at the booth. So you are also being literally poked in the chest with a shotgun and a flashlight and being told to put your hands up and get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur.
So
yeah, I'm not doing that.
I guess it's hard because we don't really know our capabilities, but would we would running be a better option, or would we think we could actually take all of these cops?
All you need to know is if they
Well, think
take
about the
you,
consequences of taking cops.
if they take you to the prison, right? Dawn will happen eventually.
And the drunk tank will not necessarily be light tight.
So
No, I mean like, do we run from the cops or do we kill every single cop?
And I think the question isn't, do you think you can win that fight? Although that's a relevant question. I think the real question is, what is the consequence of killing even if you succeed, what would the consequence be of killing a bar full of cops? And do you think it would long-term be a good thing for you?
I think so. No.
So running is probably the best option, at least in our. Yeah, I'm thinking that. I'm thinking that's what Maria's thinking. Like,
so technically, the very, 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 very first person who gets to go after being told that, everybody should surrender and put their guns on the ground is Lavin, who had the critical success on her initiative.
go Lavin.
So, the question is, like, what do you do with the very next response of, like, as I said, you and Maria only have, like, big guy with Magnum. The other cops will be here, like, they're literally at the other side of a wall. They're going to be there in the next turn.
How many do we have on the other side?
You can't see.
Okay, so we don't actually know. We just hear a commotion.
It sounds like at least
we just
half
hear
a
generic
dozen.
cop noises.
You just hear, boots on the ground, and also they smash. Yeah, and you also heard the back door be kicked in, so you know that, like, they have coverage at the very least. It's like at least 3 people, but it sounds like at least half a dozen. Damien and Braden, who can actually see how many there are 6 cops plus your partner that are visible in that part of the room, which means that there are 7 cops plus your partner that the entire party is accounted for. And Damien, you also know that there is almost certainly a van, a police van nearby, not only to arrest 5 people, but also that has backup in it and, like, the people who are listening and giving orders.
So
I would go with my gut, and my gut would be, I've been to any number of parties and clubs where it just got real and you got a GTFO. I would go for the nearest door. So I don't know how far I can make it. And I understand they may be blocked, but I'd still go for it.
Well, blocked is kind of like not really an issue for you anymore, right? You can just be like shoulder barge.
I'm
cop,
hoping.
All right.
Okay, so here's the problem. You're gonna have to move out of this area you are with Maria.
Yeah.
Into the area with 6 cops before there's an exit.
There were windows in the bathroom, right?
No.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, we're not. But now I don't give a shit whether we're allowed in the kitchen or not.
There we go.
True.
I'm gonna dip into the kitchen and see if I can find another way out.
Do it.
All right. So you're gonna dip into the kitchen.
Yep.
Maria, it's not your turn. Hold on a second. Is it?
No.
No, you are critically last.
I know.
Braden,
Yeah.
Very heavily last.
you're in a much more precarious situation. So what are you gonna do?
So I've been thinking.
That's always good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not in my case, but so my special. I can't say
Chemistry.
Chemistry.
It's like chemistry, but chyme.
But chyme. Yes.
Chyme.
So I have chemistry, and basically.
How many dots do you have of it?
I have 2 dots.
All right. It
So
doesn't get super interesting until 3 dots.
Right, but I think I can still make them believe they're in a different room.
All right. So what you are capable of doing, you have the second dot power, Fata Morgana, which is create a motionless illusion that can affect any of the 5 senses. So it can create all. It is a illusion that affects all 5 senses. Because the first dot, just to clarify for everyone, The first dot is create an illusion, but it only affects one of the 5 senses. The second dot gives you all 5, and the third dot lets you have motion.
Does
so
that?
that it stands up to higher scrutiny.
So what I want to do is I want to create the most fetid looking, disease-ridden hobo ever. That like maybe
can't
they
move.
just did. I know.
Okay.
But it's still they're gonna see it. They're gonna smell it. I mean, he's gonna smell like a person that hasn't had a shower in 8 months.
This is also but what I'm trying to actually get at here is that because he can't move, you can't have him walk in from outside.
That's fine.
He's going to wink into existence.
Is there a spot though that they're not looking? Because they sort of just burst right in, right? I mean,
right?
They cover all the corners and all that shit.
You know, one could presume that they've been diligent, or maybe they're not diligent. Maybe they're the opposite of diligent, and you're going to get away with a bunch of stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe not. I definitely think you're on the right track with using your power, but
it's difficult for me to use it without basically giving myself away.
It's also worth pointing out that you spend a willpower to use this power because it's very powerful.
That's fine.
The other thing that you could potentially do is make yourself look like you're a part of the SWAT crew.
There's actually lots of things you can do with chemistry. The key to chemistry is being creative. So for example, you can do pseudo invisibility by creating the image of the wall behind you in front of you.
Yeah, you could do that thing where you put it in front of a camera and stuff.
Right,
like that.
but again, doesn't that raise the same problem of like blinking another person into existence? He's gonna be like, this fucking guy just turned invisible.
Right. So, but let's say, okay, I'm not telling you what to do here. But let's say it was run around the corner and then made an illusion of a box and then just crouched in it.
Oh, well, I thought he was like physically holding on to me.
No one's physically holding on to you yet.
Okay.
There's just cops that are have you at gunpoint. So,
can I apply an illusion to myself that makes myself so disgusting and grotesque that it makes them want to vomit and look away?
Do you think cops will care?
I mean, I think so if they're not expecting it. It's not like they're like when you're expecting to walk up on a dead body, you're like, okay, and you like put the shit under your nose and like you prepare yourself for it. But if all of a sudden I knock my hood back and I've got fucking festering boils and I smell like someone's been shitting on my face for 3 days, it's gonna make them want to vomit and kind of like go ugh and turn their head and allow me to slip away.
All right, so let me explain how, just so that you can understand, since it's the first time you're doing it, I'll explain mechanically how that plan would play out.
Okay.
You would automatically create the illusion.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't be in question. You would spend a willpower and a blood. It because it cannot move, it would not linger on you.
Mm-hmm.
It would stay where you were after you run. But
even better.
For the brief moment that you are whatever, that's fine. However, ultimately, it would become a manipulation role against their like self-control, right? Like their ability to not, in a combat scenario, as police officers, break rank over someone's being smelly. So it can work. I just want you.
How far and how big can you make it?
Could you cover the
version
lines?
20 is not.
Could you do that to like the inside of their SWAT helmets?
The illusion, the volume of etc. and the like are limited to 20 cubic feet per dot the vampire has in chemistry. So since he has 2 dots, he can do 40 cubic feet of illusion.
I mean, that's a lot of space.
Could you do like a big cloud of smell just where the cops are, and just
like it's sticking to them almost?
Well, you
Yeah,
could just fill the room with a terrible smell. You have that power, and it could be a very terrible smell. But ultimately, mechanically, right? They're cops on the job, so like,
I mean, I don't think cops just go into their own cop bar thinking I'm prepared for the worst smell that I've ever smelled in my entire life. I'm talking worse than dead bodies, worse than a poop bucket in a gulag prison. Just the most horrific thing ever.
Right.
okay, here,
That's pretty gross.
I'll play along with you for a second.
Okay.
Do you know? This is a purely in character question, right?
Mhm.
Because that's another part of chemistry is that the Ravnos can only create illusions of which he has knowledge of. So you
Okay.
can only create the worst smell that Braden has ever experienced. My question is, in character, has Braden experienced the smell of tear gas?
Good question.
Probably in his college days.
All right. If
I see where you're going with that.
here's what we're gonna do. Brian Jeffrey Morris,
Yes.
tell me the story of why Braden knows the smell of tear gas, and if I buy that story, if I buy that happened to your character, this will just work because you will be able to recreate the illusion of tear gas.
Okay.
So me as a human being and you as another human being out of game, convince me that your character, with what I know about your character already, convince me that he has experienced the smell of tear gas. Begin.
LA riots in the early 90s.
He was in them? Braden.
No, but he lived there and he lives in a shitty part of town.
Okay. So
He lives in a shitty part of town. And when the LA riots happened, I mean, there was tear gas everywhere. I mean, the cops were storming the streets, spraying that shit everywhere. Even if you shut your windows, tear gas still gets in. It's a gas. It's like air.
Okay,
It's designed to do
so
that.
your argument is that
It's like
basically
air.
all of LA smelled like tear gas during that time.
Well, no, but his
Sure.
apartment is in that shitty area where a lot of the riots were taking place.
Okay.
I'm trying to do World of Warcraft, and I keep getting fucking drowsy.
All right, I believe that more than like where I thought you might go with that, which is like that Braden was a protester at some point in his life.
No, that's bullshit. He would
Yeah,
never do
it's
that.
absolute bullshit. He was just nearby tear gas once.
Yeah.
All right, so spend a blood and
Okay.
a willpower, which in this system, to spend a willpower, you just you click underneath the box under the first
Yep.
one.
Yep.
Because if you click the fifth box, it'll fill up the whole one.
Wait. What?
So under willpower, there's a box underneath it,
Yeah, the circles or the boxes?
the boxes,
Okay.
and you want to click the first one because if you click more than the first
Oh, I
one,
see what you're saying.
it
So I got
fills.
an X. I got
Right.
you.
That's one willpower spent.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Uh,
And then now I do have to tell you, spending that one blood brings me down to 4.
all right, so you'll be pretty hungry.
Mhm.
But you're in a very tense situation right now, so the beast cares more about your physical survival than your hunger, which is usually how it sort of like that's always the balancing act: is are you in more immediate physical danger or are you just hungry?
Right.
So you don't really notice that you've gone too low yet, or dangerously low yet. The bar fills with the smell of tear gas. Everybody experiences this.
It's not like we know he has. this
Except for
power.
us, though, because it doesn't affect us.
No, it does. You've just
Even tear
created.
gas does?
Well, the smell of tear, like you haven't created tear gas. None of the cops are actually going to be tear gassed. They may have like a placebonic effect to it, but you haven't made tear gas. You've made the smell of tear gas, which
Right.
Is tear gas a lot like owning a taser for a cop, where you have to be tased first before you can use
No,
it?
because first of
Okay.
all, cops do not have to be tased to have a taser. That's an urban legend.
But in World of
and second
Darkness, I totally see that.
And
happening.
actually, in real life, I have been tear gassed when I was in the military. So
Right.
I know exactly
Military
what it
is-
feels like.
the military is the one that like in order to emphasize proper gas
importance.
mask.
It gives you trust that your gas mask works.
Right, because they
basically.
make you put it on right, and then make you go into the room with the tear gas and then take it off, so that
Yep.
you'll never want to not have like, so that there isn't some fucker in a war situation being like, you know, my gas mask isn't as important as shooting right now or whatever. Like,
Right.
he's like, no, never again.
Yeah, tear gas is fucking awful. But anyway.
Right. So, and yes, Lavin could have used her music powers here, Mr. Blue Manova, but she didn't. It's fine.
A little hit or miss because, just to explain to that person, I can't target it yet. I'm not at a level where I get to pick who it affects.
Kind of
Right.
like this tear gas.
Right. So everybody experiences the smell of tear
It's
gas.
just like air.
It's
But
just
Maria-
like a...
But Maria, Damien, and Lavin, and maybe Rodney, like you smell it, and also I think only Damien of everybody here would be one to actually know that's tear gas. Like, oh, that's tear gas.
My first
but you
thought
would-
was like, which fucking idiot
Tear
let off
gas
tear
this
gas
room. Yeah.
on his own teammates? Like, which fucking idiot did that? You know, like
So
that's...
basically, what happens now is you're the only person who would know what tear gas is,
Yeah.
and you also have had the most, like, I'm a vampire now, so you don't, like, maybe at first you're like, oh, is that going to affect me? But then you realize really quickly that it doesn't. Everybody else just smells something.
Do they do
but
that thing where they
all of the
slightly
cops-
lower their guns but like look around or something?
No.
Like-
I'm talking about Maria, Lavin, and Rodney. All of the cops, they're not letting go of their weapons, but they're like gas masks. Like they're not holding you at gunpoint at all.
Right.
The second this tear gas happens.
Run.
So everybody has basically a free round to run somewhere.
Sweet.
Lavin's going out the kitchen. Like, what else? Like, Damien, you've got the manila envelope.
Yeah.
Where are you going, if anywhere?
So let me ask you a question.
Yep.
How obvious is, like, you know, shadow play?
Like, which one?
Like, if I just want to take the lights out and make this room dark and hard to see in, and like the lights on their flashlights and stuff like that too, because it's nighttime, right? So
I believe that's one of the powers. Shroud of Night. The vampire can create a cloud of inky blackness.
yeah, but that seems like it says it even says like the manifestation lends credence to the somber came of darkness is more than a shadow because
it's like it's
like it's tendrily, right? Like it's sort of described as like being a living thing.
ambient darkness. So the vampire cannot truly create darkness. She can overlap and stretch existing shadows, creating patches of
The
gloom.
amphibious cloud constantly shifts and undulates.
So what you're really talking about is the first dot shadow play, because you're saying dot 2 goes too far, because it really does create like an evil cloud.
Yeah, it creates like a fucking like some sort of like amorphous blob of darkness, right? So, if I wanted to like, you know,
So in the scenario, usually, only.
I don't want to break the Masquerade laws, even though
Right.
Damien doesn't know about them, but he's also like aware that he
They've
can't.
mentioned it.
Yeah.
They didn't say
Yeah, they've
specifically.
brought it up.
They were like, you don't want humans finding out vampires are real.
Sure.
So
Man.
in this scenario, shadow play would allow you to increase basically any sort of stealth roll by a lot, because you're in a smoky, dimly lit bar. The shadow play specifically says like it gives you limited control over playing with ambient darkness, and the more darkness there actually is, the more you can, you know, work with what you've got. In this scenario,
So I can cloak myself in shadow, right? That's essentially what this can do for me.
but it doesn't make you invisible.
No,
It
yeah,
just
but
increases your stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like, you know, think about what was that series of stealth games that was really popular? And he had the goggles. That was the main thing about it. The green goggles, night vision goggles.
Yeah,
Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell.
Yeah, Splinter
You know,
Cell.
in,
Yeah.
in Splinter Cell, like you can go in the shadow and that's fine unless the guy like looks right at you or whatever, right? Like shadow is a tool; it doesn't make you invisible. That's a way to think about it. Like you'll still have a stealth roll, and you'll still have a perception roll.
Fine. Okay. I want to
but
leave.
like you can just like into the night.
Yeah, I just want to leave, and I want to sort of like, while the confusion's high, run and then sort of like evaporate, I guess, for the most part.
What I want to know is where you're running to. Like, which exit are you
So there's a
favoring?
front door, and then there's like behind the bar into the kitchen, I assume.
There's a kitchen, there's the front door, there's the window that was smashed, and there's a back door that they kicked in.
Oh yeah, tell me about the window that smashed. That seems like
The window that smashed was literally over the booth that Braden was in.
All right,
and
is
it
there
goes
a,
right out into the street.
Is there a way that I can?
It's right next to the door too, so it's like technically it's a different entrance exit, but it's basically going to lead.
All right,
the
here's
same
what I
place.
would like to do. I would like to leave through that window, envelop myself in darkness with Braden, if possible, because he hasn't said that he's moving, right? So
He's going out the kitchen. I is what I heard.
where did you say you're going, Braden?
Brian,
You're muted.
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
which exit are you taking?
I'm closest to the front door, so I was gonna try to go right out the front.
All right. Okay.
I'll go out the window, and I'll sort of like maybe grab him and drag him along with me, but he can also use his movement, I guess. I don't know. And I want to try.
You're gonna drag me?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
there's a window that's smashed like above the booth that you're in, sort of thing.
Oh, it's right above. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got bad news. Shadow play can only affect one target at a time, and it says that even for increasing stealth.
Well, and I didn't realize that the window was smashed right above me, so I'll just go out there. I was just gonna go to the nearest exit.
Okay,
That
well,
seems
I'll
to be
just
the
follow
nearest
him
exit.
then, right? And I'll
Yeah.
still do myself and whatever.
All right, so you both of you are on the street. Both of you are on the street, and you can on the front street, which is where you came in. You know, there is no sign of police because they didn't want to scare you away in the first time. There's no in the first place. There isn't like the van right out front. So finally, Maria, I needed to know what exit you're taking.
Do I need
I'm
to make a
following-
stealth roll or something?
Not yet,
Okay, cool.
I'm following Lavin out the back.
because the tear gas was 100% successful. So you had like a full free round of just moving, just
Running.
go, like
Yeah, so we're just like, oh, that smells weird. Oh, they're all distracted. Run.
Yeah.
Where's Rodney?
Yeah,
Who the fuck
right?
knows?
We don't know. We were looking.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck that guy. Fuck him.
Yeah, that little bastard keeps disappearing and shit. Keep lying.
He'll find us.
I'm 100% like assuming that he's here to make sure we don't break the Masquerade.
What if Rodney
I'm
doesn't even exist?
100%.
what if you're all Malak?
What if we're all
Yeah,
just
now we're
imagining
just
Rodney?
we're meta-ing.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, any vampire can get so Malkavians, the system, Malkavians are crazy.
Yeah.
But World of Darkness, the old version, old World of Darkness, the system for craziness was a dementation. Like you actually have an insanity, and anybody could get an insanity. It's just that the weakness of the Malkavians was that they start with one.
Oh.
So it is possible for everybody to get crazy and even supernaturally crazy like the Malkavians. I'm not saying that's happened, just that it's a possibility. So everybody's out the bar. Lavin and Maria have gone into the kitchen, which the barkeep like hid in, but is also now like reacting to the smell of tear gas.
No, my souffles.
Just as a pure flavor question, are you like opening the door or are you kicking it open like there's another door to leave?
Is it?
It's like the garbage door, the door to go out into the alley and dump the
Yeah,
garbage.
we're just shoving through it.
All right, shoving through it.
I
Right.
imagine.
Caution to the wind.
You spill out into the alley, and this is where you see the police van. But
Let's
it's not.
take it.
It's not right here. It's like blocking one entrance to the alley, and at the back is opened towards the bar. And this bar has alley on either side of it. So clearly it's before the sort of intersection where they must have warped around to go to the front and surround the place.
Mhm.
So that's basically the whole scenario here. So you can go the opposite direction is what I'm saying. Or maybe you could do something like taking the police van if you were insane or wanted to play Grand Theft Auto and get 5 stars.
Could we do I see like a bottle or anything around?
Sure.
Could I attempt to slash the tires of the van and then run away from the van?
I mean, you could probably just with your fingers, like.
I guess, could I just vampire poke them?
Oh, you could totally just slash it open with your vampire claw hand.
Okay, yeah. I start looking at Lavin. 1 second, run over to the van and just.
I've got a knife too.
I like the idea that you're
Lavin
both
also.
looking for sharp objects. You scratch your head and you're like, oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
All right, so your action is going to be to slash the tire. Now, Lavin, what are you going to do when that happens? Are you already running away, or are you waiting for Maria, or are you running up with Maria to the van, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, if I see her messing up the van, I'm definitely going to assist. I'm not gonna leave without her because safety in numbers.
All right, so
So
you're both
screw
running
it.
up to the van.
Yeah, we'll screw up this van.
Yeah.
And then we'll dip.
I like the idea that you run up to put your hands on it and the van just tips over and you're like,
Huh.
yeah, okay, that'll do.
Brayden and Damien,
Mm-hmm.
you are on the front street now.
Yeah.
Damien, you are planning to sheathe yourself in Shadow and Bolt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I feel like
Yeah.
someone's fucking up a cop car, and we're
Is
missing.
is there more to it? So that's a cohesive strategy. Is there anything more specific that either of you are doing? Any particular direction? Did you guys? I assume it's LA, so you guys didn't. I don't think any of you have cars. Actually, I think
No.
you took some form of public transportation here. So what is the like? Just get into an alley and hide in a dumpster, or what's the ultimate goal?
Well, I think and Dave, if you're against this, but Braden will say to Damien, should we try to find everyone else? That fucking Rodney, I swear to God, he disappeared again right when the shit went down. Again. So I say, we fuck that guy. I mean, not literally, but, he can fuck off. And then we've got to find Lavin and Maria.
All right, so you're sort of shouting at Damien in the street.
Not
And-
shouting, but
Ranting.
harshly whispering.
Is
Yeah.
ranting a fair word? You're
Yes.
ranting at Damien about Rodney, which is when the camera side cuts over to Maria running up to the police van. And just as about to go up and slash the tires, the double doors at the back fling open, and it's Rodney.
Fuck that guy.
And he's like, I have the keys.
What? No, we're not. We probably shouldn't take this van. They're probably going to be looking for it.
It's a police van.
Right.
They're going to be looking for a criminal van.
That's not.
Oh, God.
That's not how this works.
It's for. They all came in this van, and it's empty. He's like, jingle, jingle, jingle.
We can.
Is he turning into the devil on our shoulders? Is that what this is?
No, we're not. No, just. I'm cutting the tires, and we're just gonna run for it. Yeah, so I just duck down and vampire cut.
Tire explodes in your
Ah.
face. You take 3 lethal damage.
Damn.
No, he's still gonna try and convince you.
But I don't wanna.
You're right. You're ultimately allowed to do whatever you want, but he's like, but no, but like it has all this stuff. There's stuff in here,
What stuff?
like the information that Damien wanted.
Did he get it, or is it only in the van?
I don't think there was anything in that envelope.
What? Can we take it with us? I feel like taking this van is a very bad idea.
It's like computers. I don't know anything about it, but I think
Then-
Braden does.
Let's take the computers then. How do you know they aren't tracking the van or something? Was that a thing?
We're
in the van?
not like
Can you track
taking
a
this
van?
van. We gotta go. Let's go.
Is it? But I've got keys.
I don't care. It's not our van. Let's go.
Okay, it's your guys' decision.
We're vampires. We can run really fast, right? Is that a thing?
No.
I think it's a thing. Let's go.
Probably a thing. Let's go. Yeah. So I'm cutting the vampire cutting the tires.
All right.
Uh,
You cut the tires. It
Mhm.
is cut. You guys start
Yeah.
running and realize immediately you don't have super speed. Uh,
I think. Come on, one of us has to have celery.
Dave, I wish you had like the prices right, like.
I
Nobody
I actually do, but I'm not going to play it right now.
yeah, unfortunately, none of you actually do have celerity. Which is good for me because celerity in Old World of Darkness has some pretty stupid and difficult rules to deal with.
The skin flies off your bones as you run at super speed.
Yeah,
Right.
so we're just running at normal speed. Probably we probably get a block or so and we realize we're not going super fast and maybe we should use the alleys and not run around the streets.
Yeah. Let's just
Come on.
oh,
Yeah.
keep going.
So we're duck into an alley and kind of use those to run around instead of just running down the street.
So, Braden and Damien, if you stick together, you two will make a group stealth check to keep your group hidden from the police who will be looking for you. And if Maria, Lavin, and Rodney all stay together, then you will be making a group stealth check to keep your group hidden.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
And I'm fairly certain that the way that assisting works here is that you make a stealth check, and if you get a success, then you add successes to the pool.
Okay.
So
I have a stealth.
yeah, you have a stealth, but the main stat of
I have 3.
the main part of stealth is actually dexterity.
I have dexterity.
Really?
So it's dex stealth.
Okay.
That's 6 dice, baby.
No special modifiers here.
Do I get any bonuses to this or whatever?
Yes, you get 1 extra dice.
That's it?
So your dice modifier is 1.
I only get 1 extra dice? My god.
Yes, if the vampire uses shadows to give him a stealth roll, he gets 1 extra dice.
Is it normal difficulty?
Yes, all normal difficulty.
Ah.
Oh my god.
Now, am I? Yeah. Well, I'm with Maria, so I'm in this group, right?
Yep.
Okay. Where is my?
All right, I got us 2.
Where's my
not sure how many we
stealthy? My
I
stealthy
forgot I'm
dice?
a complete shit
Damn,
fool at
right.
rolling dice.
I forgot where stealth is. There it is. Okay.
Thanks, Damien.
Nice.
You're fucking welcome, bitch.
God damn, I'm 6 dice, 0 successes.
Okay, I have 3 in stealth. I already have forgotten how to use this. The last D&D game I was playing, you just clicked on
So
it.
do you
Right,
see the
so
dice
the
pools
bottom
down the
at-
bottom?
Dice pulls down at the bottom.
Yeah, so you just select your attribute, which
Oh,
is
right,
dexterity.
right.
then
Select your
your
attribute,
ability.
select your ability, click roll. In your case, you have no modifiers or special dice added, so you just finish it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so do I do dex and then stealth?
Yes.
Or is
Yes.
it just
yeah, dexterity, attribute, ability, stealth. And then the little die.
Okay, when I click the little die, why is nothing popping up?
Should come up with a window.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Yoink.
Hey, not bad. So we got 4 successes between the 2 teams. Except I did all the successes on my side.
I mean, you're literally with the worst dice roller in every die park show right now. I feel horrible for you.
Hey, you got 1 success. You just also got a failure. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that freaking rule.
4, 4, 9, 9, 10, 10. Thanks, Roll20.
Yeah.
So,
I'm clicking the wrong button again.
Damien, you know how police are going to fan out and search with like the size that they have. You do also know, of course, that squad cars are going to be looking for you for the rest of the night and probably for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
But as far as the immediate future, you actually are basically leading Braden by the hand for being like, this is the best way for us to get away at this
Yeah,
point.
I imagine he's like, we should meet up with other people. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Rule number 1, no talking. Rule number 2, we're not meeting up with anyone because groups are easier to find. This is better. Trust me. I've done this before, just not on this side of the law.
Should I like ditch my jacket or something?
Shut
so
the
I
fuck
look
up.
different?
Rule number 1.
Oh
You
yeah.
forgot about rule number 1.
Sorry.
Whereas the Lavin, Maria, and Rodney group, like you guys are like, let's take to alleys and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the only real thing of note is that at one point, like Rodney picks the lock on a door so that you can pass through a building and come out the other side as opposed to going into the street.
Stop making him be helpful.
Useful skill. That's good. That's good.
I want to fucking kill him so bad.
This is the first time I've ever seen a helpful NPC just get fucking shit on constantly.
Yeah. I hate him so much. He's so
He's
helpful.
super shady.
How dare you?
Stop being nice. This is LA.
Ah!
This is LA.
You're supposed to be a piece of shit.
Yeah, so we like duck through alleys and he picks the lock in a building. Are we like okay, or do we get caught?
No one in any of our groups gets caught.
Yay, we don't get caught.
But Damien is specifically trying not to meet up with you.
We probably meet back at the Taste, right? I mean, that's like an unsaid, unerring, like.
I assume so. Yeah. Well, that's
You know,
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it need not be said. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Especially because that's the only place we have to stay. So like, eventually, we're gonna all of us end up back up there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. I guess we need to.
So you guys will just make it back to the Taste then.
Okay.
Damien, if you check the manila folder, it's filled with printing paper.
Son of
Damn.
a. Bum bum bum.
I blame Rodney.
And the police are now looking for you guys in your descriptions. But nobody got hurt. You all got to use some powers. You all got away scot-free. And we're gonna take a bathroom break here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I have a very special announcement for this bathroom break so that everyone stays tuned during the break. Over the course of this brief 3 to 5 minute commercial break, Saito will be posting character art for all of our characters.
Oh shit!
So please stay tuned for that.
Can I just say, first up, Arasato is the man. He made some
God.
fucking amazing character art for every one of the characters
best.
and the NPC that no one fucking likes.
Dude,
I don't.
So
I'm
good.
fine, Rodney.
It's
chat,
so
seriously,
good.
if you have
It's-
not clicked on the links, do yourself a favor and click on them. It's worth it.
yeah,
so
yeah.
hope we
amazing.
click those
So
And
links.
much. Oh my gosh.
I think it's fair for me to say, putting words in Dave's mouth, that a link will be in the VOD. the
Sweet.
description?
Yeah. I'll look at doing that. That's definitely not a problem. I can definitely do that. It's
My first sight of it was during the break, so you didn't hear it, but I squeed fairly loudly.
Oh,
Yes.
you squealed like a girl.
I also do that literally every time I see a drawing of my character. Of any
Yes.
of my characters.
Yes, but
Absolutely
Aracide is
amazing.
always a special treat.
Especially you.
So yeah, I'm real.
Fuck, so good.
I've been working with Aracide in the extent that one who tells someone what to do and then they do all the good stuff can be considered to be working with someone on these over the break, so that I could show it off on our big return episode. And I'm just going to open the window here to get the last little bit of light before night encroaches.
Yeah, neither of you squealed. I've been talking to Aracide about their stuff, and I didn't even know.
nice.
Yeah, actually, I had to tell Aracide it was a surprise. He was like, the one thing he was like, I almost asked Tux a question about his character description without even thinking.
Yeah.
I do a lot of secret stuff, Sheepdog. Just wait until the secret thing I've been doing for you comes to fruition. So yeah, you guys are back at the Taste, a Taste of LA.
Who gets in first? Like which group gets in first?
Rodney, Lavin, and Maria will get there first because they are less paranoid about the situation. You're taking a couple more extra
Precautions.
left turns and
Yeah.
right turns and etc.
Yeah.
So, you come in, and unlike when you first woke up and when you first came here last night to go to sleep, the place is actually crowded. Like there are quite a number of people here. And it's worth pointing out that without like looking too hard, it's a mix of vampires and mortals.
Got it.
It's not some crazy nightclub situation though. As I described last week, the Taste is more inspired by a European cafe. So there's a lot of people here and it's crowded, but it's a silent crowd. It's a very mellow. People are sipping coffee and blood. They are having they're having a great time being alone together, to use a phrase that some people may have heard at some point in their life. I guess I don't know if that's a phrase. Anyway, so you come in. And there's no sign that you've been in any sort of horrible situation because this time you didn't get a hole through you.
Yeah.
How sweaty is Brayden though?
Not at all. You don't sweat.
We
anymore.
don't sweat.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I look good now.
I know
hard
you have to
get
keep
past
forgetting
that.
that. It's
I
fine.
rock this nerd body.
It's a weird like superpower that you have now, which is that you don't actually have to bathe. Like there's
I
nothing.
think I do have flies around me though, don't I? Or something like that.
No.
What was my?
I think you avoided
Oh
taking
no, that's
that
right.
one.
You got a weird merit for that.
Oh no, I have eerie presence, is what it was.
Eerie,
That's what
right?
it
You
is.
didn't
You
take the
were gonna
flies.
take the gross
Yeah.
one or whatever, but then
Yeah, I was.
And then I said that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
And you
You know
listened.
a great
Just
example of the gross feat. Have you guys seen American Gods?
yeah.
No, I
Not
haven't
yet.
Read the book. I've read the book.
Yeah, I read the book.
Yeah. So
Carefully.
Shadow's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Some number of people in the audience will get that reference.
Well, you don't want to spoil anything.
No.
You're right.
But that's
Yeah,
a great
I
example.
will be reading it.
That's a great example of fucking, the
Yeah.
flyers
Cool,
and shit
yeah.
in there.
All right. So, you guys come in. There's no sign you've been in trouble, so nobody like rushes over to you and is like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" You're just You're just there.
Yeah.
You're just back. You're safe, presumably. You're fairly certain you weren't followed, and that they have no idea, like.
I like the idea that
you are.
Yeah, I like the idea that Damien immediately goes to the back room.
All right, you show up now, or like I'm saying they show up first. I just want to make sure they don't do anything before you.
Oh,
show
okay, got you.
They probably won't do anything, but I guess I'm putting words in their mouth.
Nope, I'm just glad to be.
It's Rodney,
off the
Maria,
street.
and Lavin.
I'm just gonna go have a seat at the bar.
All right.
Hashtag fuck Rodney.
Do I see Alexis around?
Yes, she's serving.
Okay.
Also, I believe her name is Alexa.
Oh, it's Alexa? Sorry, I wrote down Alexis.
Maybe it's Alexis. I don't remember her exact name because she's an NPC from the book. And when that PDF is very hard to keep open because it's just a scan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Elliot Knight one.
The Elliot Knight one is a very good book, but it's just a splat book for an old system, so it's only ever been scanned. It's never been hot linked.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's one that someone's made something nice out of it. But...
Maybe.
Yeah, Alexis or Alexa, I guess. I'll take a seat at the bar and catch her attention. Not like that I need something, but just kind of catch her attention that I want to wave to her and then wait for her to come over at some point.
Yes. Did everything go okay with your whatever?
Not so good.
I get that sometimes.
I look and make sure nobody I don't know can hear me because I don't know who's who.
She actually stops and says, "In a bar filled with vampires, they can probably still hear you."
Well, I just not like people or anything because I don't know. I'm not sure who's who yet.
Everyone here is either a vampire or a ghoul, so you can't breach the masquerade here.
Oh,
I mean, don't cause any trouble.
No, not that. I just didn't want to mention anything that
a
regular person shouldn't. Anyway, we got a SWAT team called on us.
Well, you seem fine.
Yeah, we got away. Since we're still learning, I wanted to see if them looking for us is going to be a problem.
Oh, you're sweetie, you're dead. I mean, unless you had a rap sheet when you were alive, which she sort of says in a way which is like, I don't think you're the type of person who had a rap sheet ahead of time, then they won't, you don't leave fingerprints anymore. Your hair doesn't fall out anymore unless it's ripped out. So you're not leaving, DNA. I mean, what did you do? How hard are they going to pursue you?
I figured they would put out something on us, or I just figured I would check.
I wouldn't worry about it too much. And if any vampire ever calls down too much heat from the police, it's not the police they have to worry about. It's whichever vampire has to clean that up that they have to worry about owing a favor to. It'll never get back to you, sweetie. There has never been a vampire who was arrested and died in prison. Ever, I don't think.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
That's
good to know, I guess, in some weird way.
That's a call-out joke to the fact that happened in Sin Eaters and caused the entire arc. And caused the entire arc of the vampire campaign to start, which was a vampire dying in prison. Which, because this is a prequel to Sin Eaters, she's actually saying is true. It's never happened until it happens in Sin Eaters, or maybe it happens once or twice before.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 5th. Stop your fireworks. Come on.
I hope I get more fireworks tonight. That'd be lovely.
Okay. Cool. Good.
All right, so then Damien and Braden show up.
I think you can hear us because the sound of Damien kicking a fucking trash can when he arrives, followed by extreme cursing out the front of this place, could be heard. Something like the lines of
everyone sort of looks up from their newspapers
and then just
poetry books, and there are quite a few scowls.
Mm-hmm.
and like even maybe if it persists, a couple of people like start to get out of their chairs, and that's when Alexa like books away from you, but she does that sort of mom shuffle, you know what I mean?
Like the not bobbing, but like moving quickly sort of walk. Yeah.
Yeah, like the mom shuffle where she like bolts to the door and opens it and like is outside and trying to calm Damien down. It's like, oh, you really don't want to make too much noise. There's very powerful people in there who don't. We're trying to have some peace and quiet. Please calm down. Your friends are already inside. Everything's fine. Like she's saying that while you're still like having a cuss fest.
I just sort of like, maybe I'm like, as she comes out, I've got the trash can above my head, you know, and I'm just like, I'm just about to throw it. I'm just like,
No, please.
I look at her and I'm just like, oh fucking. I just put the thing down, and maybe I just sort of like sit down. I'm just like,
Damien, am I allowed to talk now?
Yeah, yes.
What in the hell just happened? You used to be a cop. Was that normal?
Look, we got fucking fingered, all right?
By who? I bet it was Rodney.
No, it's something. We hit a soft spot. That's all that was. We hit a fucking soft spot, and now everyone is whatever. I'm gonna have to think on this shit.
What do you mean a soft spot? I don't get your copper lingo.
Rodney is behind you, and you didn't notice, and he says, "Oh, he said that that cop."
Like, what the fuck?
Well, when he said that he had the line on some dirty cops, the dirty cops that were listening in on us decided to bust in and arrest us.
Wait, what?
Damien told his friend that this whole thing would lead to some dirty cops, and that's why he didn't want to talk with the brass. And then the dirty cops who were listening in on the conversation decided that Damien should be arrested before.
How did you even know that?
I was listening.
How?
The fucking guy had a fucking wire, okay? Like, it's not hard. You should have been able to hear it as well.
Mm-hmm. Like Rodney's sitting there being like, yeah.
I fucking hate you people, and I kind of push past them and walk into Taste. I need some goddamn blood.
Rodney turns to you, Damien, and says, "We had a chance to steal the van, which had the information you were looking at it, but Maria wanted to slash the
Please tell me you at least picked something up and brought it with you."
Andy's a snitch.
Well, I couldn't get... It was all on the computers. They didn't have a file. But the guy that I took the van from is probably still tied up in that dumpster.
I sort of look at him and it's like, oh yeah, and where is that?
Well, it's right near where the van was, but the heat should die down.
You're fucking kidding me.
I'm not a miracle worker.
Do you at least like look around in the van? Can you tell me something?
Oh yeah. It was, I mean, it was pretty slapdash. They threw it all together right when you called him. So it wasn't like full vice or full SWAT.
Well, he actually put together the file. Fucking Michaels. God damn it. He's the only bloke that I know of that would come to a fucking place like that with suspicion and build the fucking portfolio as well. Fucking
well, see,
God.
When he told the police chief what you called and told him, because he told like immediately, they were maybe going to give you the file. They were going to see how far along it went. But, you know, then when you said the thing about the cops, like it was one of the guys in there. He's a dirty cop. He called for the bust immediately.
Oh,
He'll probably catch heat for it later.
Half, if not all those motherfuckers are dirty.
He'll catch heat for it later because they did want to string you along and sort of use you. But
good. That guy should be hanging by his fucking nutsack as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I'm not sure about that. But the tires are slashed, so that van's not going anywhere. I mean, if we really, really wanted that information, we could. The place is gonna be like lit up with police, though.
Look, it's not fucking worth it. As far as they're concerned, I'm a ghost. I like look at my badge around my neck, and I just sort of like You know, I can't go fucking home now. You know, that shit's gone down the fucking toilet. You know, I had a cat. That thing's probably gonna be dead by the fucking end of the week.
I mean, cats they're pretty tenacious. If you like, you could go break your window, and then it could be a street cat.
Ugh.
I think it'd probably be pretty hard to keep a cat as a vampire, though.
I didn't like the thing anyway. It was a dead relative's old fucking pet. Nowhere else to go. Anyway, doesn't matter. Thing is, I'm up shit creek. Well, can vampires swim? I think they can, right?
No, we sink to the bottom, but then we can walk along the ground.
That's fucking stupid.
I mean, we don't have to breathe.
Yeah, but that's still fucking stupid.
Okay.
Well, thank you for at least trying. I'm gonna have to ring it into these dudes' heads that, you know, maybe taking some information, salvaging a situation might have been the way to go.
We're all learning. I thought what Braden did was very cool.
God, shut up. I'm not even there. Shut up.
Yeah, where the fuck did you go? You were just gone.
Well, I went to the bathroom so I could sneak away and spy on the police.
You knew the police were there?
Not right away, but when I saw that guy just loitering in the bathroom, I sort of put two and two together.
All right.
Then I couldn't walk over and be like, hey guys, the police are watching us.
Fair call. Maybe we should have like a call sign or some shit like that. You know, just in case the 5-0 get onto us or whatever the fuck happens. Danger, you know, pineapple, something like that.
Maybe we have some, maybe we have vampire powers that let us talk to each other magically.
That's fucking stupid.
You guys do. You totally actually do.
Listen, I'm finding it hard to believe that a brain can function after death, let alone mystically talk to each other over nothing. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's absolutely insane. You're right. I don't know why I thought of it.
So I'm just gonna. Well, we got. We might as well go inside, I guess. So I'm gonna walk back in. Now, you said the room is filled with people?
Well, humans and vampires. Is that slightly brighter? No. Like I said, natural lighting on a time limit.
Why don't you turn the light in your bedroom on?
Doesn't have a light.
Wow.
Oh. One of those.
This
American
was this condo apparently was all built for like lamps. So the light switches turn off the wall sockets.
Yeah, I had that in my old
Okay.
house as
But
well.
there's no light. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't have any unpacked lamps yet, so this is just gonna get darker and darker and darker.
Just like my heart.
Just like this game.
So yeah, I go back in and maybe I like sit down and everyone. And the first thing I say to everyone, like what is everyone doing? You were just like, yes.
I was sitting at the bar talking to Alexa.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just hanging out with them.
Yeah.
I'm seething in a hunger-filled rage in the corner.
So you know what? I'm gonna walk up to the two of you, like at the bottom. It's like, so a little fucking bird tells me you didn't take the car filled with all the information we went there to get.
It was me. I'm not a bird.
Glad
Like,
you're okay.
given it was a police
And-
van,
yeah.
you know,
We didn't want to steal a police vehicle.
I could see you taking information out of it, but not taking the van.
I'm pretty sure we could have drove that thing away and then crumpled it like a fucking can after we're done with it. Pretty sure
Well,
we
if you
could
want
have
to go
done
back
that.
and get the information,
No, that place would be crawling with pigs.
I cut the tires, so it's probably not going anywhere for at least a little while.
I said that too. I said
like,
both of the things.
Maria can like look weird, so maybe I don't know. You know, do like weird flesh things. Maybe you guys could go back.
No, they're on high alert because I said, you know, BC, and then they all crawled inside their own assholes and died. So.
Okay, well, I was talking to Alexa. I guess we don't really have to worry about the cops too much.
Oh yeah, what is that? Got a miracle spray away for police.
Well, we don't leave anything, so like not like they can get our prints or anything.
I like hold the badge like in front of her, and I'm just like,
Well,
hello.
They know you, but not us. They don't know our names or anything.
I mean, we already weren't gonna go back to. I mean, all you have is a cat. All he has is a cat. He doesn't even like it.
Well, yeah. So I'm sorry. I guess you're kind of screwed, but I mean, we're not. So.
Oh well, I'm glad you're fucking all right.
Well, you know, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what you were expecting to happen.
Walk in, get the information, walk out. You know, I didn't think that, you know, everyone would be so fucking raring to go. Apparently they had a fucking sting operation just in case I said it's something bad, which I did. Fucking poke the wrong trigger holes, you know?
Apparently,
Your partner was the wrong person to ask for stealing information. That's all.
He's the only motherfucker in that whole building that I trusted, and apparently I
know.
didn't trust him enough.
It's a double-edged sword. He is the most trustworthy person in that building, but that also means he plays it by the book.
How do you know all this shit?
I must have overheard it.
Yeah, must have.
Hey, Braden.
What?
what's he doing in the corner?
What I'm doing in the corner is I'm standing over here because I cannot stand this little guy that disappears. I mean, look at me. Look at me. I get into the fights. I do what I can. I'm smaller than he is, for Christ's sake.
He's fine.
I
He
stole a
just disappears.
policeman.
Every time he disappears, and we're at some bar, this is twice now, so he's 2 for 2. Every time we're at a bar and shit goes down, this little bastard right here just is nowhere to be seen, and then all of a sudden comes back with all the answers.
Well,
you know what?
exactly.
I'm sick of it.
He's like a spy, but like a good one. You know, he works with us, right?
I don't know. How do we know we can trust him?
I
What if he's doing the same thing for the other
don't
side?
know.
It's like we're all in this together, right?
So, what's the next fucking step?
Braden's really hungry. That's why I got him this, and he's got a blood bag.
Fucking just give it to me. And I take it from him and drink it.
It gives you 2 blood points.
Yay.
Now that we're
All right.
I'd like to feed. If we could find a place that we won't get attacked by other vampires.
Why is
doing
everyone
that
so
then.
fucking obsessed with this blood shit?
Because I'm
Because I'm
hungry.
Because we're vampires now.
I'm hungry. Okay.
Look, why don't we actually make sure that everything's hinkery-dickery okay before we fucking start, you know, riling up not only the cops but other vamps, huh? How
All
about
right,
that
Rodney
shit?
can come, but only if we lock him in a fucking cage and bring him with us everywhere we go. And then when the shit hits the fan, we let him out of the cage and he helps us.
Braden,
Yeah.
Yes.
I need you to make a roll.
Okay.
Haha,
I need
it was
you-
poisoned!
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I
God damn
need
it.
you to make a. I'm trying to think of what the appropriate base attribute here is. I'm gonna go with wits.
Constitution.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I want you to make a. Shit, what is the proper roll here? I'm gonna say wits. You don't have intimidation or anything. Just make a wits roll.
Okay. How do I make the thing blank? Oh, there we go. Okay. Wits. Difficulty 6. 1 success. Oh wait, it didn't take the.
No, it did. 6
Oh, it
is a
did.
success and 8 is a success.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right,
good,
1
good.
success.
So you do not freeze with terror. As a rather lanky and tall man, like comes into the conversation by placing a hand on Maria's shoulder. By the way, it makes you very uneasy, like more than just some man has just placed a hand on my shoulder uneasy.
Like even more than that.
Yeah, supernaturally uneasy. It makes you feel supernaturally uneasy.
Is that like
and
the bottom of your feet start itching? Like, what does that
Yeah,
feel
that
like?
kind of like yeah, my toes curl up a little, like what the fuck.
But
And then I,
also like you are restrained from like cringing, like not by his hand, but like you don't, like you kind of want to have like a very boisterous pullback, but you just sort of don't. Like you're just sort of like a deer in the headlights.
yeah, I kind of just like eyes get a little wide, and then I look up like.
If it would allow me to enjoy my drink in peace, you fledglings would be welcome at my feeding ground for the night. It seems like you're having a bit of a rough spot here in LA, and I'm more than charitable enough to extend a hand and allow you to calm down.
I do the awkwardest, cringiest bow that I think a vampire would do. I'm like, thank you for that kind, gentle sir. How
He lets go of your shoulder, like it was just to like sort of get your attention. That kind of grab.
Okay.
So he sort of lets go of his shoulder, and he's clasping like a book that he's reading, and he says, "I will excuse your awkwardness, fledgling. We don't bow in the Anarch Free States."
Oh. Well, I feel like an asshole.
You
Really?
should.
Because you look like one too.
I kind of like roll my shoulders a little bit, try to like get the weird cold feeling out, and then like,
he does that like with the two fingers. You can't see it because it's so dark.
Can you just get like a torch or something? Just like.
excuse me, sir, your shadow is showing.
He does with two fingers, and there's the business card in it. That's what he does. Like, and it's just there, and it's like my card.
Spring-loaded arm thing.
with business.
Guys are fucking
so
businessmen.
cool.
You know, like,
I'm actually a traveling comedian. So he's got a business card, and he says, "I am a businessman, not a prince." And he puts the card in Braden's hand. Since he's the one.
Ooh, what does it say?
just got like 4 numbers on it. 5, 6, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Just
like...
4 cryptic numbers.
What?
What do they mean?
His name is Mario Jackson. That's what it says at the top.
Philanthropist. Yes.
Mario Jackson. And it's like it's very business speaky. It's like Business Solutions Ltd, co-chair, like CEO, vice president of diversifying outside the box, whatever. And
is it like Solutions, like SOUL?
No, this isn't Satan.
God damn it.
Oh, hey, Satan.
Hey, Satan.
Your sister's boss was going to give me a microscope that was going to make me literally retarded. So
I can't think we're not allowed to say that anymore, Rick.
Rick,
I don't know, Rick.
No, it's not Satan. My establishment my business owns several of the warehouses in the industrial district. That's neither here nor there. I happen to know that what is it that you young punks call it? A soiree of ill repute is occurring at one of them. Plenty of drugs and flashing lights and darkness that will allow you to drink your fill as long as you are careful.
And you're doing this out of the kindness of your non-beating heart?
Yes.
We just get invited to an orgy.
Well, I have no problem with that. I have the problem with the fact that...
No, you just got invited to a rave, which Lavin should be...
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at you guys like, come on, why is everyone so stodgy? Let's just go.
All right.
Yes, the pretty young fledgling seems to be of that scene, I believe you call it. Like, when he says these words, he's really struggling. Like, he looks like some guy in his 30s. But, like, he's struggling like your grandpa to say the lingo. And he also says it with that same sort of sneer that old people who don't care about learning the lingo, like, say lingo.
Here,
You know,
kids,
like-
I bought you some fidget spinners.
Have a Werther's.
No parent would ever say that. Bought you for some fidget spinners.
Here's some candy wrapped in paper that looks like a strawberry. Your kids like candy, right? Oh God, I broke Tux. I'm sorry. Let's go to the
Way
rave.
to go.
I know that.
Well,
Candy. That's funny.
You'll notice that I'm holding back here. I'm just kind of waiting for this guy to mosey on off. He gave
Okay,
us the info,
let's,
right?
Yeah.
Let's go to the rave then, I guess.
Maria, I just wait a moment. Okay, thanks for the information.
He there's a couple more and do please if you need anything call the number and then he to leave he's like, and do please try to be quiet, as he returns to sort of the table that he was at and opens his book again and goes back to sipping his...
What is he reading?
It is unlabeled, but it's like a leather-bound...
Oh, fucking course. It's
I'm
probably
gonna,
it's probably his own journal from 17,000 years ago. It's just like, what was I doing 1,800 years ago?
Smells
I'm gonna
of rich
flag,
mahogany.
I'm gonna flag Alexa down and say, hand me that card. I want to see what Alexa says about this.
Okay, I'll give Laven the card.
Oh, hi.
Hey, Alexa. Yeah, I mean, so that guy, and I kind of throw a thumb at him. He gave us this card, and he said we could feed there, but we just kind of want to make sure. Have you ever heard of him?
Oh, that's Dracula. He's a bit of a dick.
No, sweetie, I'm not an informant. Like, it's not my job. I'm not trying to say that I know and I'm not going to tell you. I'm saying that I don't keep tabs on every single name. He's a vampire, he's paying, and he's obviously doing very well for himself. I mean, there are people, vampires, kindred in the city whose job it is to know everyone and everything, but that's not my job. I haven't heard anything specific, so that means he's probably not very bad or very good.
Okay, thanks,
or very,
Alexa.
very particularly important.
All right, guys, let's go.
Sounds good.
I'm hungry.
Right.
So, are we walking there? Like, how are we getting there?
It depends on how far.
Cab? Or yeah, I guess how far it is. Like, either walk or cab, I'm assuming.
If you want to save time in your night, you're gonna take some sort of...
That's true, yeah. We definitely want to get there as fast as possible.
Oh, can we rent one of those party buses, but instead of alcohol, they have like humans chained up to the poles, and we can just feed on them on our way there?
I'm sure that's a thing.
That's what we need to do, is start the vampire party bus business.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that business is definitely already a thing in Tijuana. Because in Tijuana, the Sabat rule. And so the Sabat are training people up in their buses all the time. So yeah, just take like a 2-3 hour car trip down from LA to Tijuana. I don't know how long it takes to get from LA to Tijuana.
1.5 minutes in the vampire bus.
Yeah, we fly down a cab and go over to this warehouse, I guess.
Right. So, you guys end up in the industrial sector of Los Angeles, which
Just before all this happens, like I assume the car pulls up. Can I at least have a chance to do a payphone thing real quick?
you always can do payphones because remember,
Yeah.
this is before all the payphones everywhere were taken out.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
they're
90s.
all over the place.
So I'm gonna call.
The-
I'm gonna call Michael's apartment.
okay.
and
There'll be an answering machine because it is also the past.
Yeah, exactly. And he'd be like, "Hey, you've reached Michael's." Blah 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 blah. Beep. And then I'd be like, "You fucking fuck me, you fucking." And I'd start like bashing the fucking handle onto the thing, and then it just like fucking destroy the payphone, and then just like kick it and just knock it over and shit, and just like.
Really miss being able to destroy phones like that.
And just walk away.
Yeah,
All right, we have a scene like right out of some fucking like British gang movie where you just king, or like The Departed. Didn't they do that in The Departed at some point? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an excellent image.
Uh-huh.
So you.
So yeah, my
curse
hair
in-
gets messed up. I just run my fingers through, and I was like, "So what's this about? Some fucking whore party?"
right. So there is a rave of mortals happening in a warehouse. How cool is that, right?
Is this like a club, or is it just a warehouse that people?
So it
start
would
up
be a
at?
giant warehouse with glow sticks and a DJ and lots of bottles of water and lots of ecstasy.
Yes, it is.
Can I get a bottle of water? And he gives you one. It's like, no, one without ecstasy. Well, I don't know if we have any of those left.
Okay, so like this is literally just like a warehouse where stuff is being stored, and people were like, "Hey, time for a rave."
Empty warehouse.
Yes,
Okay.
this is one of those. I don't know what
Former rug storage. Then they managed to sell all the rugs.
No, it's not the warehouse that I'm concerned with.
I mean, I was just wondering if this was like a place where raves usually happened, or if it was just an empty warehouse and people were just like.
So
"Rave
raves
time."
move so that they don't get busted. So they just find an empty location and then they'll be at another
Works for
pop-up
me.
one. Yeah.
Tell us more about Raves Tuesday.
Yes, we do.
I am like knee deep in the club scene. My character is super.
There you
super into
go.
it.
Awesome.
Yeah, yes, but you, Tuesday, who is telling us these things, you have a fake oil painting of Severus Snape behind you. I don't think you are what the kids call cool.
Hey.
I just push my glasses up my nose.
Actually. So,
Cool. Yeah, so we show up. We like rave music, just booming through the streets.
yeah, and at this point now, none of you are so hungry that you can't restrain yourself. Okay, so you actually will have to make a restraint roll.
Yeah.
You'll have to make a self-control roll to not drink more than you can from your first one, but everybody else
Am I aware of that, or am I not aware of that?
you are aware of that because we've experienced it once already. The very first time you fed, you had to make a restraint roll to not
Okay.
feed too much.
Yeah. So then when we show up and we like get out of the cab, I like tap Lavin on the shoulder. I kind of whisper in your like, "Hey, can you watch me with my first one? I don't want to overindulge."
Yeah, let's definitely keep an eye on you.
Okay, so here's something I want to say as the GM. Feeding is going to happen a lot in this game. One of the things that you can look forward to is maybe setting up reliable mechanisms for feeding. But we are going to burn a lot of hours if we heavily roleplay every time that we feed.
Sure.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to ask what your modus operandi is, and then you're going to roll, and then I'm going to tell you how many blood points you get. And that's assuming that you guys spend a set amount of time here. Like, it'll be modus operandi and how long you guys are willing to spend here. Because remember, you're vampires. You have a limited amount of time to do things.
Sure.
Question. I still don't think Damien's cool with eating people or feeding, whatever you want to call it. How long can you theoretically go before you, like, you know...
So without healing and without using any powers, you still have to use 1 blood point to wake up in the morning.
Right.
Every morning.
Yeah.
So that's your time. That's your ticking time bomb. And then, of course, as you get below 4 from waking up or otherwise, your beast starts to be like, oh, look, meat. Let's eat.
Okay. Then, if you don't mind, I would love to start because I think mine's pretty clear then.
Right.
I would have to look for a fucking piece of shit. Like, you know, just like the worst human being possible.
Just like a douchebag?
Like a fucking, like a guy who's preying on young kids or selling drugs to minors, or like, you know, just like a piece of shit scumbag, you know.
You don't have...
It's the world of darkness, so there would have to be a pretty big piece of shit. You know,
here's
the
problem is that you don't have any powers that would cause him to just have an aura of I am a pedophile or whatever. Like,
well, aside from my, you know, years as a detective, right? So,
sure. So perhaps first we would roll perception.
Yeah, maybe like
alertness.
casing a room, for example.
No, perception investigation would be the correct roll here, actually.
Investigation. Cool. Yeah, I can do that. That is...
No additional difficulty.
Yeah, so 4 and 5, 6. Okay. Where the fuck is investigation? Oh, it rolls down. Okay. Fucking Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm rolling all right in that.
Teach me how you do this.
All right. So,
Well, first step, you gotta own a premium subscription to Roll20.
Yeah.
Okay. First things first, and I feel like leaving that door open back there just so I have
Just so that we don't
silhouette.
forget that you're just like a black box.
Exactly. I promise my lamps will be purchased or unboxed by next week.
Great.
So that's an exceptional success. So what I will say, and if you want more than this or something different, let me know afterwards. But what I will say is that you see somebody who is wanted. Like,
Yeah, and the other thing is too, can I hurt them?
what do you mean?
Like, I don't want them to feel pleasure from it.
They will feel pleasure and they will black out. You can drain them dry and kill them, though.
I don't want to kill them, but like the thing is, like, singling out fucking the worst of the worst, like the scumbags, and then like, I don't know, like making a leg not work for them or something like that would be great.
I mean, you could hurt them that way. The other thing you could do is there is also a median point between a healthy amount of feeding and draining them dry, which still puts them in the hospital, which would get him arrested because he's wanted. So you could maybe double feed from him, which would give you extra blood, still leave him alive, but wind him up in the hospital where he will end up arrested and put away.
That doesn't sound like a bad idea.
All right. So a healthy adult can safely give 2 blood. If you take 4 blood from him, you will put him in the hospital.
Yeah, that would put me at max. It's 14, right?
You are generation 9, so
So it's 10 a bar, and then so that
Yeah,
would
we're
put
14 max.
that would put
14.
me at okay. That would put me at 12 then. Okay, so there's still wiggle room there. So maybe
you're damn
it's-
near full though. You're definitely the most full.
Yeah. So I imagine it's like, you know, I sort of like it. just sort of shoulder move people my way into this fucking room, right? I stand in the middle of the rave, and I just sort of look up at maybe some fucking idiot on a girder or something up above, just sort of watching everyone do their shit downstairs, and I don't know, and I wait for him to come downstairs, and I fucking jump him or whatever, and there's a little bit of wrestling. I'm just maybe I'm something like, you fucking deserve this, you piece of shit, and I punch him a couple of times in the face before I feed on him or whatever, I just real thugging it or whatever.
And then after you drop his paled, dried out, still aliveness, you just tap someone on the shoulder yo, that guy needs an ambulance.
Yeah.
And then oh shit, a couple of people run him off, which will eventually get
this
him
fucking idiot can't hold his fucking drink, or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, he looks real bad. We need to get him out of here and then call an ambulance. Can't want to bust up the party, and a couple of.
And then I do the Arasato, mouth wipe of the fucking blood and just sort of flick it on the ground or whatever. And
the middle finger.
Yeah.
All right. So that's one person down.
So that's
everybody
4,
else.
Yeah? All right.
What is your modus operandi here?
Mine is super. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Mine's super quick. I could and would do this anyway. I would just roll up to somebody, male or female, start hardcore flirting, and then drag them into a corner to make out where I bite them.
All right, that would be. Oh, this is always so tough because is flirting, appearance or charisma? And I believe the answer is that it is charisma.
Sweet.
It is charisma, empathy.
Well, it really depends. It's a rave, right? You can't fucking talk too well. So maybe
body
it's,
language too. So
maybe it's more appearance than it is. Is charisma body language, or is that appearance?
Actually, no. It wouldn't be empathy. It would be subterfuge, which gives you 3 more dice. Which, but it's because you're not actually trying to flirt with them. You're not actually interested. So it is a lie.
Okay.
That's a lie.
Unless it's not. Get a little touch in there while you're going.
It's a lie.
Ooh, almost didn't do it.
Whoa, you're rolling so many fucking die just on that.
I know, this is really low too.
Yeah, she has 7 dice. You got 2 successes and 1 retraction. So yeah, you can so if you guys are going to stay there till the end of the party, that's one thing. But if you want to get some other stuff done tonight, your method will get you Lavin 4 blood, because you will be able to do it twice.
Sounds good.
What else? What other modus operandi am I hearing here?
So is it strobe lights rave, where it's okay?
There are songs which have them and songs that don't. It's
So some songs are lit and some songs are stroby, where it's really hard to see stuff.
Yeah, it's very much sometimes they're doing the cool lasers through the smoke, and then other times the strobes are on. And
basically during the songs where it's hard to see.
Yeah.
I want to go around the edges, not in the center where the actual lights are, but the edges where people are still dancing, but the lights are all focused towards here. So over here it's not as light.
Yep.
I'm just gonna sneak through the crowd and just pick somebody, bite, wipe, and then I'll rinse and repeat.
All right. So this is a
Would it be fair to say that I figure out I can do the healing touch thing tonight?
You figured it out last time. Everybody has the tongue, right? You can lick it.
Well, I have my thing where I can touch it instead.
Yes. Sure. That is totally fair to say. This will be it wouldn't. So your pools aren't different here, but if they were, because of the way you've described it, usually a stealth roll is based off of dex, but this I feel is a wits stealth roll.
Makes
and
sense.
Because you are specifically waiting for songs where it is.
I'm being smart about it. I'm being and the lasers are pointing away. Go.
Well, and because
lightning
of that,
strikes. Take your sniper shot.
and because of that, I'm going to give you an extra dice.
Cool.
So you have an extra dice in a wits stealth roll.
Got it. Wits, stealth, boop. 1. Regular difficulty?
Yep.
Okay.
4.
Woo.
Good job.
All right. Again, if you're not overstaying your welcome, you will be able to do this 4 times and therefore get 8 blood.
Totally.
And finally, Braden.
8.
Braden finds again the biggest guy in the room that he can
And
find, and tries to pick a fight with him outside.
that didn't work last time.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't.
It totally worked.
It like definitively didn't work.
In Braden's mind, it worked because I got blood.
Can't argue with that logic. This is a manipulation, intimidation roll.
Okay. Well, that's not good.
No, it isn't.
I feel like you made your character and then played him the opposite way. You know?
Isn't that how I always do it, though?
Yeah, a little.
4 successes.
Damn, dude.
I mean, you can't argue with results.
Damn.
That's right.
Like,
But now I do want to say this, Wreckage. When I do convince him to come outside, before I feed on the biggest guy in the room, like I'm sure there won't always be a biggest guy in the room, but when I find the biggest, bulliest looking guy in the room, before I allow him to feel the orgasmic power of the vampire's embrace, I first take one of my nice sharp claws and slice a cut across the top of their eyebrows and down around behind their neck and watch them squirm in pain.
Damn, dude.
why?
Why?
Oh, because you get
Because
a
I'm
willpower.
fucking sadist. And I hate bullies. It makes sense for my character.
Okay,
I
here's
got
the
bullied
problem
as a
with that.
kid.
Yeah,
Here's the
I mean, that's
problem
like
with
your
that.
nature
Here's
or
the
your demeanor?
problem. There's a problem with that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's great role playing. There's a problem with that. If you are not biting them, and therefore they basically shut off, they would resist you doing that. And you, even though you're a vampire, you don't have potence, and therefore are not stronger than the biggest guy in the room.
Okay.
So it
What
would
about
turn
if I
into
do that? What if I torture them after I?
they won't feel it because they'll wake up with a scar.
That's in fact more sadist than what you're describing right now.
Yeah.
Because
They won't feel it, but they will wake up with a weird scar.
That works for me too. That's pretty sadistic. You don't have to cause pain to be sadistic.
I do believe, actually, you have to cause the suffering of the other person for it to be sadism.
All right. Well, then how about this?
Hold on a
I
second.
use my finger to draw a dick on the back of their head in blood, so they always have the scar of a dick.
Oh, wow, that's really fucked up.
yeah, man.
From the derivation of sexual gratification, although you don't get sexual gratification anymore because you're a vampire, from the infliction of physical pain or humiliation on another person. So by the technical definition of sadism, not only will you get 8 blood points, but you will reacquire one of your spent willpower from your sadism.
Okay.
You done did it.
So can you
Yay.
gain more willpower than you currently can have, or how does that work?
No, you can never gain more willpower than you have, but you only gain willpower. You don't ever regenerate willpower.
Unless
So
you,
that was
unless,
something-
unless you play to your demeanor or nature, right?
Right. So in Sin Eaters, that was the one benefit about still being half human, is that humans they heal naturally, and also they regenerate a willpower every time they sleep. So you guys were spending willpower and generating willpower like crazy, but vamps need to do the thing. Brian,
Yeah.
direct your attention to the Zoom chat. So anyway,
I would like to draw everyone's attention to the Twitch chat where there's more fan art.
there's more fan art?
There's more fan art.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's Maria being creepy but also weirdly cute.
Oh no! Oh,
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh,
It's so good.
oh, sweet Christ! It's the worst thing I've ever seen. But
That's amazing.
don't.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Oh,
That's amazing.
Look at how
Oh my
horrifying
God.
but also cute it is.
it's the most horrifying, but
Kind of
also
wonderful.
cute thing. I can't wait. There's a butthole. Butthole. on
Yeah,
it.
there is a butthole in that.
I think that actually might be hair, but that's okay. You can see it as a
No,
butthole
it's a
as well.
butthole for
That's
now
there's a
forever.
butt. Look at where it is. There's another part where there's hair, but that's a butthole, and that's right next to the face.
Ah.
Oh God, Parasito, you're a genius.
He's so good.
Oh, I can't take it.
I love it so much. Oh man. Oh, thank you so much. Holy shit.
Right. Okay. So that derailed us for a second, but everybody's fed now. You guys reconvene. You're now like you spent an hour and a half after dusk discussing what you were gonna do, then like 45 minutes plus another hour and a half to like we're not keeping super tight track, but basically you got maybe 4 hours before sunup. You've all done your feeding in your various ways. What's next?
Well, is it possible to arrange that meeting, or is that like some
With
other thing?
Salvador?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the other thing we discussed out of character that would be appropriate to attempt to.
You get back to the taste. That takes, half an hour with a cab. You then talk about getting the meeting. I mean, you can try it, and it would come down to, like you will find out if Salvador will see you with that little time left in the night. Vampires pass out when the sun comes up, so it's a little bit more than just having someone over for
How late is it? Like, are we close or like
4 hours until sunup.
Ooh.
But that's, there's like, I mean, that's half of a night though still, because night is like, 10 hours tops, right? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
so probably more like 9.5. So having 4 hours left it's still like half the night, but it is the later half of the night when a lot of vampires, it's the first half of the night where vampires are like, let's go out and start a fight. It's the second half where they're like, maybe we're going to pass out halfway through this thing we do.
Is there any chance that, just out of curiosity, Wreckage, is there any chance that I could use my memory to try and draw out this sort of where crime is happening and that sort of stuff? Like where I remember the lines being
No,
for...
because you're a homicide detective, so
Yeah, okay.
you don't it's not your department. So it's not like something that would be up on the wall every day.
Yeah.
Whereas there is an anti-gang unit like that's probably up on the wall every day. You are like your unit is specifically when that housewife just did not enough, and then finally she did it, and now there's a guy and he's dead.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I guess the only thing I want to do is try and talk to this dude. So.
All right, so you guys head back to the taste then, and you're gonna ask Alexa if you guys can talk to Salvador.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It's a little less crowded when you get in. It's also like almost a completely different set of people, right?
I
Like,
imagine so. Yeah.
they apparently don't have any all-nighters. Nobody's loitering. And who flags down Alexa? Who's gonna talk to her? Who's gonna?
I'll talk to her.
Oh yes. Did you guys have a good time?
Well, sure, yeah. Listen, you mentioned something the other day that I would like to bring up again. I want to get out of your hair as much as you want us to get out of your hair, okay?
Well, I don't mind, sweetie, but I understand what you're saying.
You're not making this any easier, but you mentioned a fella by the name of Salvador.
Mm-hmm. Don Salvador.
Of course his name is Don. Why wouldn't he be named as Don? You reckon we could talk to him?
Well, absolutely. I'm sure we just talked about this. You wanna
Yeah, tonight.
you
if
wanna
possible.
speak with McNeil? Oh, you wanna speak to Salvador tonight?
Yeah.
Well, I spoke with him earlier, last episode, and said that he was busy tonight. But it turns out, through 100% not just plot convenience, that he's actually upstairs right now. He stopped by unexpectedly, and my husband's with him, but I can come in and ask if maybe it would be possible to get a few minutes.
Is he an actual Don? Is that how this shit works?
No, his first name is Don.
Oh, he's. I understand now. It's fine.
Yeah, no, that's not how it works. Actually, it's a joke, but it's also kind of serious. When somebody reaches a leadership position in the Anarchs, they're called a Baron.
I just sort of like look at her like with these like just. I just look at her like,
It's she's sort of like, yeah, I know it's intentionally sarcastic, like land baron or oil baron. Like that's the idea, is we're sort of making fun of it, right? Because we are sort of democratically elected.
Is Don a baron?
Yes, he has a barony.
Ah.
well,
Which would
he's
be the
barren
perfect-
because he can't have children, right?
Ha!
Ha!
Right. So I'll just step upstairs for a second then and see if maybe they'll be okay with that.
Thank you.
She walks away.
I sort of turned back to the group. I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck to expect up there. I'm imagining a guy with a cape, but you know what? I don't even know.
You mean like you think he's gonna like look like Dracula?
I mean, I've met pimps who had capes, so you know.
Wait. How are we not gonna laugh if he has a cloak or a cape? I'm
mean, I'm
totally
gonna
gonna
laugh.
laugh.
Probably,
I'm gonna laugh.
probably because we
Probably.
walk into the room and then like maybe like there's corpses hanging from the ceiling or some shit.
That'd be
Motherfucker wears a
fun,
cape in a
too.
room full of
That would
corpses.
do
You're
it.
gonna be like, okay, I should take him seriously.
I don't know, but if he goes at us, I'm going to laugh. I'm not going to.
Me too.
If he hisses, there's no stopping it.
I just spray it with water.
All right.
God.
So, this conversation is equally funny as I link his picture in the chat.
Oh, motherfucker is wearing a cape, isn't he?
Uh,
Oh, it's his face.
you are invited upstairs, and
It's like a young Robert De Niro a little bit.
Like Brad Pitt with a mustache.
what you see
It's like
is,
Fight Club Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
as opposed to the other night, where he had different facial hair, and had like his hair was unkempt, and he was wearing like like a full jacket, like not like a trench coat, but something more basic and leathery. Like that's when you first saw him the other night, like in his war gear. Now he's in a leisure suit with his chest open and like a disco medallion and hair, and his hair's all slicked back, and he's shaved down to this mustache, and he looks like a Spanish ravisher.
Oh, is this the same guy we met before?
Mm-hmm.
He was at your he was one of the people arguing during your
But he's
Your-
not
Right.
the guy, right? I remember the guy being like a
the guy was Braveheart.
okay, right.
McNeil, who you
McNeil,
still
yeah.
do want to talk to because you wanted to ask him some questions. He says, hello, welcome. Alexa has told me that you wish to speak to me.
Yeah.
Have some questions. Of course, our fledglings would not know exactly how things are going in the Anarch Free States. I'm very glad to hear that you were okay and that you proved your loyalty to the Anarch cause the other night. And I am greatly emboldened by the outpouring of generosity that I see from our other kindred in taking care of you. It is a sign that we will take in anyone and treat them right. And in the spirit of this, I wish to extend my hospitality and answer whatever questions you may have.
Thank you, Don. Look, we need to know where
Please.
we.
Call me Garcia.
Thank you, Garcia. Hey, look, we just need to know like where we can live, preferably in an apartment building, like all together, and where other vampires won't get us.
Ah, yes, the most difficult of continuing problems with the vampires is overlapping territory. LA is particularly bad, as I'm sure you are aware. The gang wars in this city are very intense, and many of them are just a facade for vampires to trade territory. It can be very difficult to hold a peaceful location in the city center, especially.
You see, like we don't want any of that, and also we're gonna but kind of need to be close to clothes shopping, right, Maria?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, pretty little things need your little distractions, of course. But even on the beaches, there are turfs held by surfing vampires who will not allow anyone else there. It is finding a slice for yourself is very difficult, and I'm afraid I cannot offer on a silver platter an empty lot where no one is. I can make some suggestions, of course. I could, but all of them would have their drawbacks, their catches.
Well, we definitely need suggestions because we don't have any idea about territories.
We don't know what we're doing, Don. I mean, Garcia.
No,
Do
you may call me Salvador. She can call me Garcia.
Salvador.
Do
I
vampires
bow
have any
awkwardly.
use? Do vampires have any use for money? I've got some stuff saved up. I mean,
Well, you will still have to pay rent at your establishment, of course, but it is usually much easier to acquire illicit funds as a vampire since the police system can't really track you down. Many vampires make rent as an afterthought. Some mind control their landlords and stay for free. Money means the same thing that it means, but it no longer has the same amount of control over you. Yeah, you no longer need money to survive. It can just help grease the wheels.
I guess, yeah.
So you can be a little more, what is the word I'm looking for? Lackadaisical? Not exactly.
And what
Well,
type of pies
money's
do you
not a
have your
concern for
thumbs
me.
in? Sorry.
That's I have my as a baron who's responsible for taking care of a large group of vampires and maintaining order over a large barony, I necessarily have to involve myself in many business matters.
So basically, anything we find, we're going to have to take from someone.
That is not always true, but there will always be tension, you see, yeah? There will always be someone who wants to encroach or test, and
Well, what about you, Garcia? Do you have any pieces of shit that you want wiped?
Are you offering to scratch my back if I scratch yours?
No, of course. It's the only way to get shit done as far as I'm concerned.
You have shown yourselves to be very capable, and as I said, I would be willing to give you advice, but they would have drawbacks. There's one that I can think of. Has a drawback, but it could be very right for you, and it would do me a favor. I would definitely be there for you should something happen.
What about if we do something like, I don't know, cut out our own pie, slice of it, you know, and give you a sizable kickback?
No. Please let me make my suggestion.
All right.
is-
Your accent is making my accent. But
Yeah, accents are hard. We're both not professional actors, shockingly.
What?
There are two gangs. They fancy themselves baronies, but they barely control enough territory for me to give them that label. But that's neither here nor there. They are eyeing each other, and both wish to see the weakness in the other and strike and eliminate the other entirely. And
So you want us to tip the scales?
no, you are getting ahead of me. I want very much the opposite. You see, me and McNeil, when we founded the Anarch Free States together, we were hoping that vampires could live together in peace, and that has not yet come to fruition. We seek to end the gang wars, not spur them on and not benefit from them. These two groups are very close together, which is why they are eyeing each other's territory. But there is a thoroughfare, a large street that runs through the border of their territory that neither of them have been able to wrest control of from the other. It has apartments and shops and buildings, and it even has access to a hospital.
We'll take it.
The catch is that you become the buffer between these two groups that wish to take from one another, and that would be a series of constant back and forth. It would stop the burgeoning war between them for now, but you would become a pressure plate.
Sounds good to me. How about you, Maria?
Yeah. Sounds good.
It's better than going somewhere completely unknown.
can we count on your support to make shit happen then? Maybe get a bit more...
Especially with you at our back, yeah.
You can count on my support that if anybody declares open war on you while you are maintaining this buffer, that my extensive forces would be at your back almost immediately.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
No
I
one
like
would
the
be
sound
able
of
to
that.
take it from you in open gang war. Now, if you all turn up dead in a dumpster, there's nothing I can do except to try and seek revenge.
Right.
So be careful. Some things are underhanded. Other times, it's a car filled with thugs. Watch yourselves. I don't know where you want to begin, but the thoroughfare is East Olympic Boulevard.
Okay,
Just-
East Olympic Bowl.
Do I know of any intrinsically, just like if he says that, is there anything that comes to mind about like crime waves or anything like that in that area that I can have some sort of...
It's not it's not in particularly bad.
Okay.
Like there
It's,
have
it's
been
no different from anywhere else, right? So.
yeah, it's not especially bad. As people who know LA, this means nothing to you as players because you don't know LA. But Olympic Boulevard is south of the Santa Ana Freeway and just north of sort of the industrial district with the train yard. So you are kind of
east of the Staples Center.
yeah. Those of you who have opened a map of LA can now actually see that there is a real East Olympic Boulevard.
Yes.
That really actually has Los Angeles Community Hospital on it. But also, this is a map of 2017, and this is the 90s. So I'm going to take plenty of creative license. For example, the business that we invented last week, Pizza Smut, has a branch on your street, and there will also be other seedier things. A good way to think of this is the first level of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, where there was that street with just sort of everything on it. That'll be sort of the street.
That's
how
like
likely is it that the hospital this is my hospital?
Totally unlikely because you're probably actually above working somewhere here. You're probably you're like your previous training and expertise and employment would keep you out of what. Like this is a glorified emergency room.
Got it. Okay.
Like this is a charity case glorified emergency room that is mostly preventing people from dying from OD.
Just real quickly, Maria, are you like fucking Doctor Strange level of surgeon?
No,
or like...
she's a resident, but she was on her way up.
Yeah.
Like she was skilled and educated, but she was in the scrubs part of her career, where you're only just
I'm past intern and past and above like working like at a free clinic or whatever, like to that point where it's like, oh, I can pick where I'm gonna go, and then vampire.
Right. Like she might have ended up being a Doctor Strange doctor, but right now she's JD.
Yeah, at that point, it's sort of like I've done some surgery, I've done some medicine, I've done some psych, I've done some like plastic surgery stuff. Like I've messed around with it, and now it's but then vampire. So like didn't get a chance.
I'm gonna take this quick second to answer a couple of questions that have been popping up in chat. The Daughters of Cacophony have an unknown origin. There are a couple of theories, and what I said the other week in reference to that was that one of the theories is that they are an offshot of the Malkavians, since their curse is to always hear music. So yeah, nothing is definitive, even on my side of the books. In my world of darkness, I know what the actual bloodline of the Daughters of Cacophony is, but for the benefit of the players, I won't say those sorts of things. Like my notes, I've decided what is the case. But what I'm telling you is that the storyteller's books or whatever, there isn't a definitive answer of where the Daughters of Cacophony came from, much like other things. And no, she is not hooked into the network, even if she is Malkavian. The Madness Network is the special trait of the Malks. It is something that only they have. I have said that she's capable of knowing a song before it's released, but it's only musical. She's not getting it's a purely musical madness and also purely musical benefit. Maybe she's hooked into the music side of the network, and that's it. Salvador has presented you with a place that you could set up shop where he guarantees that at least he won't let anybody invade you. And the price is that you're a buffer between two groups that do want to invade each other.
So do we just go and plant our flag, or do we just...
Yes, it'll be very much like that. You'll want to, of course, scout the place out first, see where you're going to put your haven, etc. But it'll happen and then almost certainly immediately both sides will be coming in and asking what you're doing, and then you will say, "This is our turf." And you have my permission to say, with the backing of Don Salvador, which will make neither of them slit your throat right then and there.
So, I like maybe Damien's been a little quiet pondering this ever since he mentioned it. And he's gonna take off his badge like around his neck, and he's gonna like I don't know, throw it across the table at Salvador, and he'll be like, "Well, consider me your fucking man. I need a new direction now that I can't be a cop no more. Stopping the war between these two fucking vamps gangs. I'll make it happen."
It makes me want to make the blood pump through my beating heart again. You make me want to spend the blood to flush in my veins and feel the fire, to see such young fledglings dedicated to the cause of peace in the Anarch states. Oh, add in some sort of Spanish word that I can't say as the GM, but he would definitely say it right here, like caliente or something, you know.
Caliente.
Yeah, Caliente. That's a good choice. Perfect.
Deliciosa.
Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate your help, Garcia.
Oh, and I appreciate yours. Was there anything else that you wanted in the coming nights? I mean, obviously we will talk, we will continue to. I will.
So I sort of lift up my arms, and you know, I've got like this, as you know, I got the two arm slings, and it's like, if you could give me another piece, something that might bring down a vamp, I tell you what, I would feel a lot safer.
Something that would bring down the vamp. You see, that is the problem. Sidearms have almost no effect on the sturdier vampires. The weaker vampires, you know.
Tell you what, I'm a good shot. I'll put one between the eyes, and it'll hurt.
Well, for the record, you want to put one through the heart, but
all right.
You would need a high caliber magnum in this case. Something that I can do for you. I can do this. I don't have it. I cannot shit it out of my asshole. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I
Yeah,
understand.
if you could just point us in the direction of weapons.
Of an asshole that can shit it out.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess gear things to find would be good. I'm not sorry. I'm not sure if etiquette with the kindred. I'm not sure how, if it's rude to ask.
Well, in the Camarilla, there would be all sorts of rules, but here in the Anarchy, it is free love and free speech. You know what I am saying?
Okay, I guess so.
I know what you're saying.
I'm not sure how old you are, but have you seen a lot of different powers of the kindred?
Well, I don't mean to toot my own horn, as the expression.
Toot away.
Before me and McNeil formed the Anarch Free States by the blood of our own hands and the strength of our own fists, we traveled the world, not together, separately, traveled the world fighting for the Anarch cause. I have fought in Spain and France, and in Boston I saw as a massacre. I have been there throughout history. I have fought the Sabbat, and I have fought the Camarilla, and I have fought the Lupins, and I have fought all across the world. So yes.
Who else did you fight?
It's impressive.
Just shut up. What is your question?
Well, I from what I understand, we have some odd abilities, so I was just.
Well, you are Sabbat, so no one is used to Sabbat around, right? Because Sabbat, they keep their clans in their faction, and so their abilities are rare. Very few part from the Sabbat because they engage in something called, what is it? Wait, you don't know this yet. I will tell you a secret. This is a very important secret. The blood of a vampire has mystical qualities. The ghouls that you see downstairs are created when you feed a mortal your blood over many nights, and it eventually mind controls them. The Sabbat The Sabbat engage in a ritual in which they all drink each other's blood constantly, so that they are in a perfect fighting machine, but also fervent and loyal, like fanatics. They're almost never dissenters from the Sabbat, and so even in the Anarch Free States where we take in everyone, we never see their clans and their powers. And you are Sabbat, but you were rescued before you were indoctrinated, before you were blood-bound to each other. And so your powers are Sabbat. Tell me, what can you do? And I can tell you what these things are.
So the other night when we were at the bar and we fought those Sabbat bikers or whatever they were, I did some... I still feel a little weird about it, but...
Oh, go ahead, tell me. It can't be that weird. Everybody can do all sorts of things. I could do this.
So so one of them had a gun.
Right, yes.
I put his gun inside of him.
Like with strength of fist?
No, like as in I took his chest, made a hole, pushed the gun in there, and then closed the hole with his hand inside of it. And then he shot and took out his lower part of his body because the gun was inside of him, not because I shoved it in, because I made a hole for it by just kind of moving stuff.
He was talking like nonstop, and he's just like stopped.
Yeah,
and he looks like he's got his finger on his chin, and he looks like it looks like he's scrutinizing you to see if you're telling the truth.
Right, yeah. And so I'm like there's a weird silence, and like
we all saw it. It was pretty fucked up.
I don't know if you've ever had. I don't know if you've been to a mall and had. Sorry, we can't eat. There's a thing called a pretzel. I turned another one into one of those because I made his leg go kind of like up here, and his arm kind of over here. He was folded up, but I made his arms like this connected. It was kind of all in the heat of the moment, so it was weird, but it just kind of happened. Like I put his skin together.
So that silence, sort of, there's like a moment.
You know that moment when you sit on like a hot leather couch? It was a little like that.
And
she basically melted a dude.
Kind of. Like when you take Play-Doh and you just kind of, and then you have a big piece of Play-Doh. But like people.
It felt like Play-Doh? That's fucking gross.
Alexa has been here.
No.
And but she's been sort of like, you guys are up in her apartment, right? Like, so that's what's above the Taste of LA. And so she's been like milling about, but he sort of like waves her over and talks to her. And then he says, mi amigos, please, for a second, Alexa is going to treat you on me to a drink. Maria, was it? Beautiful.
See?
My people, please, would you come here for a moment? And like he's like leaving to another room.
Okay. She like,
and Alexa's like serving blood coffee.
Listen,
like the
I
good
have
stuff.
this wart on my bottom. I can't get rid of it. Can you just like...
I need my dick to be like this much longer. You just take it from my leg, my ass. I don't even care.
Take it from her ass.
Like, and also that like they're pouring you the good stuff, the blood that has like alcohol and or coffee in it.
Oh, I take the fucking alcohol one.
She takes them like out of the room, so it's just me and Don.
No, he's taking you into another room, and they're staying at the table being served.
Got it. Okay.
As soon as like the door is halfway closed, he moves you to a side.
Yeah.
And says, Maria.
Yeah.
You must not tell anyone what you can do. And you must impart upon your compadres not to tell anyone what you can do.
Okay.
You are clandestinely.
I like just give him a look like that sounds impressive, but I don't know what it means. Like,
Clandestinely. founded the Sabbat, and their vicissitude, their magic of flesh, is what makes the Sabbat an unstoppable war machine, and also indescribably evil. There is no one in this city apart from me and Alexa and a few others who are of caring, big hearts that would look past this and let you live.
Oh.
Use your power responsibly. And I cannot stress enough. It is a power that was made for torture and war. I beg you, Maria. I beg you. Do not let it take you to the dark places that it would take you. Because if you go there, I will have to stop you.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's like this is clearly kind of like shaking her. And she's like, yeah.
And also, if you ever leave, this is totally secondary. If you ever leave the city, were you born in LA?
Yeah.
If you ever leave LA, you will need to take 2 pounds of dirt with you. You haven't noticed it yet because you're still sleeping in LA, but Clan Zamisi needs to sleep in the dirt of their birthplace.
Oh.
That is part of it is a way to weaken them. In fact, you might want to go out to like the industrial yard and just shovel in. You'll sleep much better. Okay, but also don't become evil. Now let's go outside and pretend that we made out or something, okay? Don't even worry about. And he puts a hand on the flat of your back and leads you back outside where the others are getting chocolate wasted. By the way, everybody else gets an additional blood point.
Sweet.
I'm full up. I don't think I can take any more.
Then spend a blood point on healing yourself or something, and then take the
I
extra
don't
blood
need to
point.
heal.
Okay, then spend a blood point on making your dick hard.
All right. Done.
Wreckage. I'm just gonna
Horrific.
spend 4 points right now and just kill myself. I think.
All right. And also, this is where narratively I want to leave off
Sure.
for tonight. So
Yeah. So the two of us come back in like.
And I'm weirdly
Maria's doing her
aroused.
best to like both look okay, but is probably having a hard time keeping like the holy shit look off of her face.
yeah, and you can figure out how you're going to deal with that next week.
Yeah.
Maybe as you come out, it's like no one expects the Spanish conquistadors, huh?
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Is that what just happened in that closet?
Yeah.
Boom! The Spanish Inquisition is what he calls.
No one
it.
expects the Spanish incomposition.
Oh.
Aha. Aha.
Give me 1 blood point. I want to bone this woman. Guys, let's do some fucking shout outs and call it a show. Let's start off with none other than Tuesday Gray.
Dudes, that was super fun.
Mhm.
I am very excited. We are going to get cool apartments and then we're going to go just dive into LA and see what kind of trouble we can stir up.
Our new place
be
is near
here.
our new place is near the LA Fashion District.
Also, I'm gonna love the fact that we're gonna be like in the middle of a fucking war zone. It's gonna be
I know.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be super fun. So do tune in. First of all, give Henley a follow and do tune in next week, which will be at 8 p.m. on Monday, correct?
This show is usually on Mondays. Some of you may be joining us from the front page of Twitch, where we got a special deal to do this show on Wednesday. So
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
that's why it's on Wednesday this week.
Mhm.
Thanks for coming out and
Front
checking it out.
page. Yeah, thanks, dudes. So yeah, I look forward to next week.
Where can people find you Tuesday?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Tuesday Gray, Gray with an E, and the same on Twitter.
Nice. Speaking about noise, let's go on over to our little spicy tart. Tuxedomus, what up, man? How you
Hey
doing?
everybody. thank you for coming out tonight. Thanks to all new people from the front page for coming out, checking things out. I saw we got a lot of follows for Henley's channel, which is awesome.
Yeah,
thanks again
95
for
right
that.
now. So
Yeah, very, very awesome. Another big thanks to Arosito for that fucking incredible art.
That art.
It's
Yeah.
so
amazing.
fucking good.
Oh, the extra one with the.
I know the extra little one where she's just like and just making a weird little like thing. It's so fucking good.
Oh my God! It had a butterful.
It's horrifying and also adorable, which is the best kind of adorable.
You also have to link that one in the VOD, Dave.
But yeah, thank you so much for that, and Wreckage for commissioning it. It's really, really good. Thanks to all of you for playing. This game is a lot of fun. I like it because it's not like super. It's a lot of like talking and role play stuff, which I like a lot. So yeah, I'm liking this game a whole bunch. But yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/Duxtradamus. Same thing on Twitter and YouTube. I don't have anything. I'll try to do some other streaming this weekend because both of my role playing stuff is out because of Go Play Northwest this weekend.
Yeah,
I'll try to do some other stuff.
I have a canceled show because of that too.
yeah. But yeah, so thanks again everybody for coming out tonight, and hopefully we'll see you back for some more awesome role playing stuff.
Nice. And last but not least, from our player side of thing, we have none other than Lord Spooty himself. What up, sir?
Hello, awkward bow.
Can I just say, Brian, you playing, like, I'm playing a piece of shit, right? But you playing the actual piece of shit is just, like, the best. It's like I can be an asshole all I want because no matter what happens, I know when you walk into the room and you fucking shake your fucking
shitty
greasy hair, and everyone gets a little like fucking wet from it. I know that I can fucking say anything. So thank you very much for that, Brian. I appreciate that.
I'm starting to really step into the whole Braden Pace experience. I think it's pretty fun. Yeah.
Experience.
So I'm getting into it. No, but yeah, thanks again to Arosito for that artwork and Wreckage for pulling him in to do that. That stuff's incredible. It's amazing. I had so much fun tonight. You can click my Twitch link that Firo put in the chat. And I have some podcast links for you guys if you want to check them out.
We promised that they would be in the chat later. Yeah, they're there now.
So there they are. And so yeah.
Everybody follow.
Yeah, everybody check it out. Give it a rating. Give it a little review. Push it to the top. Know what I'm saying? I'll love you forever if you do. I won't. I promise not to spray you with tear gas if you don't do it. But nice. It is a distinct possibility.
And last but not least, we have our fantastic storyteller for the session, Mr. Dr. Wreckage. What up? You Spanish bastard. I think you found your new favorite voice to do, by the sounds of it.
No. My favorite voice is still airheaded secretary. Like, I don't get to do those enough. Remember when she was in Fulcrum and she was like, she didn't even know that the Fulcrum was happening?
Yeah.
So that
I remember.
Remember. Hi everybody. I'm Dr. Wreckage. I've just moved, literally closed on the house today. Got the keys today. So we're we have unpacking to do. But in the future, this move is in the past. So in the future, I can do all sorts of shit. I'm looking forward to doing my own streaming, but I'm also looking forward to doing some more stuff on Die Party. Me and Dave are talking about doing some GM videos for World of Darkness, so I can show you some behind the scenes of what I'm doing here and what I have done in the past. And I'm really excited about that. Me and Dave are talking about all the new shows we're going to bring to Die Party and all the shows that are still on Die Party and what they're going to in the future. And just stick around and you'll hear all about it. I just come back Monday if this is all you like. I don't care. But if you like the content, stick around. If you don't, thank you again to Arosito, especially for the bonus piece, which I did not pay for and was amazing. I'm always excited when Aracito likes a show because he just lights a fire in the show. I think Tux will agree that one of the best shows we ever did was Mistborn Alloy of Law, with all of the Aracito fan art that you could ever hope for. And I've never felt more into a character and more inspired to play it than when Aracito is there, bringing them to life. And I hope to see more from him in the future, whether it's spontaneous or paid for. So yeah, thanks everyone. Dave, send us out.
All right. Hey everyone. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you have, consider following the channel. And if you're feeling real saucy, why not subscribe? Get access to my cock and spread that all over Twitch. Well, like an STD. No, not like an STD. Anyways, thank you very much for all the support. Tonight has been overwhelming. We are sitting at 97 followers for the night, which is, fucking great. Big thanks to Twitch for the front page feature. Ubay. And special thanks to all my players for showing up. You guys are awesome, especially on the rescheduled day. I know that's a little hard to wonk around sometimes. In terms of Die Party news, this Sunday we do have a cancelled show. Whiskers and Whiskey won't be airing because Eric is going to some convention. I don't know what it is, but it's a convention nonetheless.
Go play Northwest.
Yes,
Yeah, go
probably.
play.
Yep, it'd probably be that.
All the cool RPG people are going to be there.
I wish I could go, but the fact that
Which is
I
why
live
I'm not there.
in the other side of the world, it is what it is. So yeah, going forward, tomorrow I expect maybe to hear something about what's going on with Yonder. But other than that, Die Party Gambit this week, no Omen, unfortunately, because Graham has other things that he needs to do. Make sure you check out the schedule for more information, and check out the Patreon if you want to support Die Party and want everything that we do. We'll be back in a couple hours' time for another daily stream, but until then, have a good night. And don't drink too much blood.
Thanks again.
Bye-bye.